One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back.
Have you ever listened to Christmas music?
Out of a snowman?
Did you got it electric fish lights?
Shit! I know we're gonna this Christmas. And you should too. Go to electricfishlights.com online or at electricfishlights on Instagram, and you will have your mind exploded into billions of colorful pieces. And when those colorful pieces come together, it is called IQ technology, which means
IQ.
interlocking quadrilateral. Now you know something new today, you guys.
Yeah.
See, you're learning on No Simple Road. That's 15 different shapes that go into 30 different configurations. And when you put those things together, it becomes this magical combination factory of imagination and light and spinny shit and all kinds of stuff happens. They will make your dreams come true at Electric Fish Lights. Go check them out. They are making your mind manifest in the actual form of lights that you can hang in your house. Each light comes with a 12-foot cord, a kit to hang your light with, a
13-year
energy
efficient bulb.
Yep. And this thing is going to explode your room. And any of you out there that decide you want to get the color changing upgrade for your light, you are going to get a special gift.
You're going to get a poster.
That's right.
That's right. That's the
A
special
special
gift.
poster.
But not just any poster. It is poster of Aaron's artwork combined with another artist to make this beautiful dancing poster when you put on your Electric Fish new light.
So if you don't have any fucking idea what I'm talking about right now, go look it up. Go to @Electric Fish Lights on Instagram and look at all the lights that they've created. These things are amazing. There is cartoon characters. There are superheroes. There are storybook characters. There is your favorite NFL, college, or foot hockey team. I'm sure they could do basically anything you can come up with.
They did a custom one for me recently.
What'd they do?
They did 2 custom pieces, a Peppa the Pig and a Puerto Rican flag.
There you go. See?
So,
Peppa
the Pig and what about a Puerto Rican Peppa the Pig?
Oh my gosh, I didn't think of it.
And because they're
They'll
part of
make
the
it.
No Simple Road family, they're going to hook you up with 10% off when you check out.
10% off.
Put in the promo code NSR and they are going to hook you up with 10%
Yeah.
off. And like I said, get that color changing light bulb.
Both
because
of them.
It makes all the difference. And they even have a light bulb that has a Bluetooth speaker in it. So, and the limit of these things is your imagination. They even made one that was 7 feet tall.
Oh my
with
gosh,
3
it was
light bulbs
beautiful.
in it.
It's fun just to watch their Instagram because there's something new. Like every day almost is some new creation that's like, what? Mm-hmm. How did you do that?
And then, so that's Electric Fish Lights, you guys. So go check them out at Electric Fish Lights on Instagram, electricfishlights.com. So you're going to order yourself a light. Then when you're done,
you're going to smoke a big, fat bowl from Define Premium Cannabis.
2 locations in the Portland area to serve you, one in Hillsboro, the other in
Forest
Grove. And they have you covered, man. They got edibles, they got dabbables,
vapables,
wipables, smokables,
rubbables.
There is wipables.
Yeah, I guess
wipables,
I wouldn't
rubbables.
say it like that, but yeah.
Topicals, but yeah, they're rubbable and wipeable.
And
basically, they got all your cannabis needs.
And all you kids out there doing all this crazy shit with weed, man, they even got THC diamonds.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, we got good dabs out there. And guess what? If you come and you visit either locations and you mention that you are a No Simple Road listener, wow, man.
What's going to happen, man?
Then you are going to get 10% off your purchase and you're going to get a free t-shirt.
Free t-shirt.
And if you go into the Hillsboro location Monday through Friday,
something's going to happen.
And ask for Apple, he will come out of the back dressed like a teddy bear. And he'll give you a big old hug, and then he'll help you find the weed that you need.
That's sweet. I can actually do that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So go check out Define Premium Cannabis. Ask for Apple. Tell them you listen to No Simple Road. Come on, Portland. You know you're getting high already. You might as well get the best shit in town.
Right.
So
also,
take care of your head.
Yeah, take care of your head. But while you're getting nice and toasty or rubbing your topicals on your arms, why don't you do that in your new Shop Tour Bus t-shirt?
Oh shit. Look at us, we're just sailing right through.
Rolling
blam,
through.
blam, blam. It's almost
Shop
like
Tour
we're
Bus
professional.
is a fantastic merch company that has beautifully designed Grateful Dead inspired lyric t-shirts, hoodies.
They are not just a merch company. They are the original No Simple Road sponsor. They were the first ones that believed in No Simple Road and said, hey, we want to partner with you guys. We love what you do. And you know what? We love what Shop Tour Bus does because each and every box is hand designed. Every box is different than the last. Each box that you get is filled with all kinds of trinkets and cool shit on the inside and lovingly packaged. And then that they don't stop there. They're going to put an actual Grateful Dead cassette tape bootleg in your package. So you don't know what bootleg you're going to get, but you're going to get the one that actually fits where you're at in your life right now. When you pop that thing into your cassette player, your head's going to explode and your face is going to melt. And then your head's going to open up.
But it's not going to matter because you're going to look cool in your dope Shop Tour Bus t-shirt. And guess what? They got a new design coming out this week.
The Foolish Heart?
The Foolish Heart.
Yeah, you guys go check it out at Shop Tour Bus on Instagram or shoptourbus.com online. And when you check out, because you're going to be checking it out and you're going to be checking out for all those things that you're buying for your friends for the holidays, when you do that, put in the promo code No Simple Road. They're going to send it to you for free. You're going to get free shipping because you're part of the No Simple Road family. So check it out, man. You're not going to be in the dark. You're going to have a light from Electric Fish Lights. You're going to be super
high.
stoned because you went to Define Premium Cannabis. And you're going to get a sticker and a hoodie and a new T-shirt and a tote bag and
a bootleg
and a bootleg tape from Shop Tour
Try
Bus.
some gum, a few other cool things.
Yep, I got a little man that goes on my finger and his arms waggle when I move my finger, and he's like kind of
waggly
spiky.
finger man.
Yeah, so there you go. We did it. Yay us.
Woo.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
It's good to be wanted. It's good.
Yeah, it is good to be wanted.
Dead or alive. Hey, no Simple Road family. How's it going, everybody?
Hey, welcome back.
Wake up, guys.
This is Aaron.
This is Mel.
Yeah, wake up or go to
Who's
lay
that?
down and
Wake
get comfy.
me
Who's
up.
this guy?
Oh, this guy over here. This guy is Apple.
Hey, what's up, man?
Just babbling away.
We forget that maybe not everyone has listened to each episode, so you guys may or may not know who the hell these hosts are.
Yeah.
So
that's
Aaron
true.
and I are married. I'm Mel. Aaron over there is a conductor, and then we have Apple that lives with us. Well, not lives with us. We all live together. That's a better way of saying it. And we love doing No Simple Road and talking and
talking to people like Tony from Wooden Wire.
Tony. Thank you so
guys-
much for dropping in at No Simple Road and having a fantastic conversation with us.
Yeah, man, you guys are going to dig this. Wood and Wire is an immensely talented bluegrass outfit that came into our world and was one of those bands that when I heard them, I was like, oh, we need to get them on the show as soon as possible. And Tony represented.
Yes, he did.
Represented with gusto and
Yeah, the whole band.
did the
Was it
boys
Billy,
proud.
Billy, Dom, Trevor, the whole band.
Yeah.
We got Tony, and this was amazing. If you don't know who these guys are, you need to go check them out. And you'll hear us talk about it in this, but their new album, No Matter Where It Goes From Here, is amazing. And I suggest going to, we talk about it on here, the Home and the Banjo. That song, I remember we talked about it here. I asked him when this was recorded. It's like it was written during like this
Right,
year.
for now.
It's just very poignant. There's great music here. This conversation was amazing.
And if you're like me and you like the jammier side of bluegrass music, I think it's the last song on the album, Clamps Shoot.
Yeah.
It's a 13 plus minute opus of, and we get
actually,
into it in the interview.
It's actually
I don't know.
9 minutes. I thought the same
Oh,
thing.
really?
I looked at it. Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like 13,
Okay,
14
well,
minutes.
you know what? In
It's-
my world, it's 13
yeah.
plus.
Well, hey, man,
That's Aaron's math.
time this year is messed up, so it's 18 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
And here's the thing. Like Mel was saying, we take for granted that everybody that's listening every week listens all the time and knows who we are and knows what No Simple Road does.
I'm so comfortable in this space that I feel like introducing myself is like, what do you mean, in my own house?
Yeah, right.
So
Like opening
I
the door.
kind of forget, you know?
Oh, hi, my name's Aaron. No, you know what? One of the things that we do here is we do an interview with a guest, or we have a conversation with a guest every week, most every week. But one of the other things that we do is we have a nice long intro before the interview.
Yes, we do.
And so that's where you're at right now. Don't fast forward.
Don't fast forward.
You're going to miss.
They won't get to know us.
You're missing half the show if you do that, man. The
I
way
think
I
that's
look
like
at
the
it.
full show. I feel like there's two shows in one because we're getting
two shows in one.
Yeah, you're getting this amazing conversation with Tony, but then you're also getting a conversation between housemates, lovers, friends, business partners,
Dogs.
Dogs
farting. That happens a lot. Yeah.
Which
Oh,
would
yeah,
be
we didn't-
Darwin.
yeah,
Which would
we
be
didn't
Darwin.
introduce
the-
Darwin.
We did not.
Darwin, the No Simple Road mascot dog.
Yeah, he is a 120-pound Mastiff
I think
Shepherd
we
mix.
might want to bump that weight up a little bit.
130 since COVID.
He's packed on the COVID 10.
Yeah, he's got his winter coat going.
Yeah. So, do you guys out there have your winter coat going? Do you?
I put back those few pounds that I lost.
You know, it's
I'm grateful for that.
I just am disgusted with the holidays and food.
You know,
all of
we
it.
create our own traditions. So
It's funny to
If I
hear.
don't- it's
It's
like
funny
you're
to
saying
hear
you're
Aaron say
disgusted.
that too, because he's the one that's totally taken on baking and like gets the pie. I'm gonna make every pie in this book, man.
Yeah, I am.
I can't wait.
I'm not saying that I'm mad at Thanksgiving or the food that happened at Thanksgiving. I'm saying whatever, how many days past Thanksgiving we are right now, I'm disgusted with it. But by next November, I'm going to be
We'll be ready
excited
again.
about Thanksgiving
Yeah.
again. Yeah, no, it's
It's kind of an.
I think we
Kind
had
of the
a
way it
really
goes.
great Thanksgiving this year.
We did.
It was so.
This was our most low key one so far.
Yes, since we've been
And
here.
it was really enjoyable just being. Well, yeah, the five of us in the house
Yeah.
and Simon's girlfriend.
Yeah.
yep.
And it was just very chill. And like Simon said, his favorite thing, every year we have a bunch of companies like, damn, and they give all the leftovers to company and there ain't no leftovers the next day. There was plenty of leftovers this year.
Plenty of
Yeah.
leftovers.
It's cool, man. Like I've said this before. I don't know. I've said it to you guys. I don't know if I ever said this on the show, but Thanksgiving is by far and away my favorite
You've
holiday.
said it on the show before.
Like it's around my birthday. That's first.
This
first
year
one.
it fell on my grandma's birthday.
It that's rad. That's really cool. And sometimes it actually falls on my birthday. Thanksgiving does. But the reason that it's my favorite is because there's no pressure on Thanksgiving. There's no pressure to give or receive anything. It's hanging out with your family, cooking, eating, hanging out, relaxing, and that's it. There's no like,
Well, there is. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people that feel tons of pressure on Thanksgiving to make a nice meal and, like just preparing the house. And there's usually a lot of company, so that can have a lot of stress. So
Yeah, there definitely is
There's
pressure.
definitely
like last year
pressure.
we had pressure. This
Yeah.
year there's one that there was a thing nice about it because there was no like, okay, like the countdown.
so and so's
Like
coming.
it's
or
4:00. We're having
We gotta
dinner
hurry and
at
get the
5:30.
turkey
We got
ready.
when we got to pull everything together.
you want
at the
everything to
same
come out
time.
warm, and you don't have enough space. So there's
Yeah, there's no pressure of that like gift giving, having to shop way ahead of time.
Yeah, that
and
kind of
worrying
thing. Like,
about
you don't have to-
disappointment.
Sure.
no gifts. You're not buying anything for anybody other than food, and that's it, man. You're just hanging out with the people that
And
you
it-
love and spending time
And
together.
it's
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. It's about kicking back and giving thanks
And you know,
to yourself and those that you love.
I have to say a little aside. I just figured something out before the show. We were listening back to a little bit of the interview before we did the intro, and I was like, God damn it! It sounds like there's somebody fucking mouth breathing during the interview, and I figured out what it is just now.
What?
Darwin.
It's Darwin. I can
my
hear
gosh.
Darwin breathing.
You could take if you take your headphone off. Right, he's
Well,
So,
listen,
so for
well,
you guys
all the
out
listeners,
there,
you
that's
know
the
that.
dog.
Yeah.
that's him kicking in. We're not on the porch anymore where he gets to drink his water several times during the show. So
So you just have to deal
That's
with
his
Darwin's
input.
breathing. Yeah. So if
Might
you-
This
hear
is
it
his,
toot.
his input to
we'll
the
let
show.
you know when he toots too. So,
Yeah,
because
but-
that happens.
So what I was going to back to Thanksgiving, man. So what I was going to say is I saw a lot of mixed feeling online from our community about this year. This year's Thanksgiving. Because of the way things are and people not being able to be with their families the way that they normally are. And it's for those of us that suffer from any kind of mental health issues, anxiety, depression, that kind of stuff, the holidays are tough. See, there he is snoring. The holidays are tough by themselves, but this year added a new dimension of fuckery for everybody to have to deal with, man. And I just want you guys out there all to know that we're here and we get it and we feel you, man. And I know that, like, it can be hard to navigate through the space that we're in. And it can be really tough and feel oppressive. But just know that there's people out here that get it and are on the train with you. And we're on the right. I know that by this time, we're 9 months into this thing, man. And hearing that we're all in it together doesn't have the same sing-song effect that it did at the beginning of the pandemic. But I will say that we're all on the train together, and we will see each other on the other side of this thing. So we just got to hang in there, man. Like Mel and I were talking what were we doing? We were talking about the Kriya.
Yesterday we were recording.
Christ. Oh, that's right. We had a conversation with a future guest, and afterwards we were talking about like doing yoga poses for long periods of time, and how you have to go past that point of it being uncomfortable. And that's where we're at right now in 2020, man. It's I was just saying to Mel, like, I feel like a little kid today. Today we were on a walk. I'm like, I feel like a little kid. I just want to lay down on the ground and like lay on my back and like kick my feet and pound my hands on the ground and like piss my pants. Like, but it doesn't look at a 49-year-old man with a big old beard doing
I would
it.
love to see that personally, but I'm just saying.
No.
I get what you're saying, because right now it is tough. Like we were just saying, we really enjoyed it being just us for Thanksgiving. But also, that's like making the best of it, because this is the time of year my mom would be visiting. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to see my mom.
Yeah.
It would have been around this time. Same with my nephew. This is when we all have family.
Absolutely.
And people coming and visiting. And that sucks, man. Mm-hmm. That, we had a great time, but it was also a little bit of melancholy at the end of the evening.
Sure
like
was.
with everything.
Yeah.
Like Aaron just said, I get that all the time. The flip-flopping one moment, you're like,
You're fine. You're great,
bucking up
right?
because you're trying to make the best of it. Like, it is what it is. Don't let it get you down. But then it fucking does.
It does get you
sometimes.
down.
It slaps you the hell down, and it really sucks.
But
and with the holidays being here, it's really like flip floppy emotional.
I know. I had a coworker talking about Christmas and decorating, and she's just like, "Yeah, I'm just not feeling it." And it really wasn't my conversation to get into. She was talking to another coworker, but I turned around and I was like, hey, it is our responsibility right now to like show up for ourselves. We have to like cheer ourselves up, and we have to get into the spirit, because who the fuck else is going to do it? No,
Nobody.
Santa's locked up. Nobody wants Santa without
Santa's
a mask.
right here.
Santa can't do shit without
Santa can't
Christmas
do
spirit
it.
alive. And if you're not, when Aaron
right?
you guys mentioned earlier today getting the tree, my first thought in my head was like, fuck a tree this year. And it's like, where you go, giving up that love, feeding that
And
fucking ick
it's
monster.
true. We need to show up for ourselves, and we need to get into the spirit, whatever that means to you, whatever that holiday spirit means to you.
Well, the thing about the tree, like, I get it. I understand how you feel. But
I don't feel it.
But I get the thought, because I
Yeah.
had thought myself, like, what's the point? Like, it's just Christmas. But we, like Mel said, we are the only ones that are going to get ourselves through this. Nobody's coming.
Mm-mm.
Nobody's going to show up at the house and be like, guess what? I'm taking care of everything. You guys are stoked. Like, no, that's not happening. And so it's up to us. And the thing about Christmas is, it's not about the gifts. It has nothing to do with the fucking Christmas tree. Even the timing. Even the holiday is some made up fucking thing to sell toys and bullshit and commercialism and all that. But inside of our house, what a tree represents to the five of us, what it makes us feel like, that's the point of the fucking tree.
Yeah, it's family and love, and it smells damn good.
Right. And it looks beautiful, and it makes a certain vibe in the house. It feels
it
a certain
does.
way. It doesn't have anything to do with Christianity or Yule or fucking a Hanukkah bush or any of that stuff. For me, it has to do with the way that it changes the energy and vibration in our house and makes all of us feel. And
when you open up the door to our house, usually you can see the Christmas tree in the living room,
and you can see it from the street too.
Yeah, because the lights are on, and it really does just bring a simple smile. Like you maybe walked in with the sourpuss face, then you walk in and see the tree like, oh yeah. So it's it's a reminder. That's what it is. It's like a visual reminder of something greater than ourselves.
Well, take it from Santa. It literally puts a twinkle in your eye.
It does.
Check it out. No Simple Road family. Listen to me, man. I get it. This year's tough. It's tough for all of us. But we're getting through this thing, all of us together. And if you're in that headspace right now where it's like, this all feels like too much, and you're just like on the fence with the holiday, or you're over it already, do me a favor. Go get yourself a fucking tree. Just a little one.
Little cute
one.
one.
Yeah,
They
so-
sell them at Trader Joe's for like $4.99,
Yeah, little grump,
$8.99.
they have a grump tree.
That's $7.99.
It's a branch with one ornament hanging on it.
And it's super cute.
Just do that. If that's all you got in you this year to do for yourself is a fucking grump tree,
You'll look at it and smile and
Go
probably
for
giggle at yourself.
But hook yourselves up, man, because like I said a minute ago, nobody else is coming to do it for you this year. There's no family showing up. It's up to us.
And if you're fortunate enough to have that, bless you and bless your time together and make it more precious than ever. Because I think every year it is special going to have cookies, going to have family dinner, but maybe sometimes you take it for granted because it's been every single year.
Oh, fuck. Gotta go
So if you
grab
get
it,
to
she
do
gonna
it this
fart.
year with your family, really freaking cherish it and love it and take pictures of it and be grateful for it and thank each other for it, because this year has taken away a lot of special occasions for everybody and every family. So if you're able to do it this year, please take advantage of it and just squeeze it for everything that it's worth,
Yeah. And, man, like I said, I know that we're all suffering through different stages of this thing, and we're together in it. And that's cool. That makes it a little sweeter. It takes a bit of the sting out of it. And that's what being a community and a family is all about. Like, when we're all high at a show and the music's happening and you look over at that person that you've never met in your life and you share that gaze
and you know them.
and you know them, like, we have to cultivate that same feeling right now outside of that space without seeing each other. And the only way we can do that is by making it happen inside of our homes individually, because we are all connected in some bigger fashion on a vibrational level. So if we can cultivate a little bit of that peace and space
Holiday
on the inside,
spirit.
yeah, the holiday spirit, man. And like I said, has nothing to do with buying fucking toys or gifts or the tree, or it has to do with your attitude and the way that you're approaching your day to day. So we have to do that for each other. You do it inside your house, and that love and that feeling radiates out, and we feel it because we're all connected. We've been connected for all these years through the music, and now that connection is being put to the test, so to speak.
It's being messed with, and we've got to stay strong.
Yeah.
Keep
so
it strong.
Use
Keep your
this
love
as an
strong.
opportunity to hook yourself up, man. And that's my
Make it cute.
public service
So
announcement.
I like to say,
I know that was very public service announcement-y.
yeah, just treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Tree yourself.
Treat yourself.
Tree yourself.
So, like something clause. Everybody gets something.
So Aaron, how was your week this week?
Huh. Well,
Tough question there.
It is
They
a-
got them pondering.
Usually
over there.
you got a lot to say,
Yeah.
baby.
well, first of all, I'm trying to remember the week.
There you go. There you go.
That's valid.
That's good. Good answer.
Really,
Survey says number one answer.
honestly, I'm
Just
trying to remember where the fuck I am in space and time at
Well, you
this
left
moment.
early on Wednesday for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, okay. I remember this week now. Thanks, babe. Coming off the heels of my birthday weekend into
Thanksgiving
this
week.
Thanksgiving week, I worked 2 days and then was off for 4, and it's been fucking glorious to just be at home and not have anywhere to go and just be able to hang out with you guys. And I went over to Jake's today and listened to his amazing sound system that he has, and watched Dinner and a Movie and some string cheese and a Lotus show from Red Rocks of this year, where Lotus played at Red Rocks for like, it looked like there was like maybe 50 people in the audience. Must have been just like their friends and family or something.
Oh.
And that was cool. And this week is Mel and my
Tomorrow.
23rd wedding anniversary on November 30th, 1997.
11:30.
I forget about it. Well, yeah. That's why you guys are going on a special little trip. I wasn't even thinking about it. It's just like, oh, they just want to get the fuck out. I don't
No,
blame you.
well, that too, but
Yes and no.
Yes, and
too wet behind the ears. Mel was 19 and I was 20.
Newly
6?
crowned in 19.
I was 26, and a 2-year-old Sydney walked into the Justice of the Peace in downtown Las Vegas, Nevada,
She was our witness.
and got married 23 fucking years ago. And so
Yeah, this is actually when we eloped, you guys, because we have 2 anniversaries. So if you hear us, you're like, well, wait a minute, I thought you guys were in. Well, we do. In February, we actually had a cute little wedding, and it was amazing. And that is February 28th. And the elopement was 11:30, like Aaron said, 1997, all those years ago.
So that Hampton show from Fish that we just saw in Dinner and a Movie was 11/22/1997.
Ah, and
So
your
it was
birthday?
on my birthday, in the year we got married, 8 days before we went and tied the knot.
We had a special dinner for your birthday, and you had pineapple upside down cake, right? Was
in 97?
97?
I don't fucking remember what I ate this
I'm-
afternoon.
I'm
I thought
almost
you were talking about
positive
this
of
birthday.
it.
I
No.
was like, oh, did
I'm
we have
almost-
pineapple upside down?
No, I'm pretty positive that we had
Jesus.
chicken lasagna and pineapple upside down cake,
Whoa.
because my brother made that lasagna and I made the pineapple upside down cake, because
Oh shit, I remember.
you know what I'm talking about now?
I do.
Because when Aaron and I think about our timeline, it gets fuzzy as heck.
I don't know if
And
that's the drugs or the Mandela effect.
I don't know what it is either,
Yeah,
but
that's
like I start
time.
thinking of things and I think I dreamed it, and it's like, no, that
No, that
actually
happened.
happened. Well, Aaron was just hot off the streets during that time. For real. And
I wasn't off the street yet.
No, you weren't actually. Yeah, you're right. You weren't off the streets. But I had invited you to come to my house that one time. But
Come
then
to my house for dinner. Let's get married.
but wait a minute. But then we started hanging out, and your mom gave us a gift card to Outback Steakhouse.
Jesus, Mel.
Do you remember that?
No.
We went to Outback Steakhouse.
Aaron's
and
just
I ma-
looking stupefied. And
I
you were
made him
wearing
a-
those jeans with the belt loop that was ripped on the second rung. And you were, well,
Right. My memory usually doesn't work this well, but for whatever reason, I know it
Wow,
right now.
man.
But I remember making you a special pineapple
I
upside
remember
down
the
cake.
upside down cake, and I remember the lasagna for some reason. And the reason now that you bring it back, that I remember it, is I remember thinking, I could fucking get used to this.
I can picture that.
Oh my
I
God.
fucking get
gosh.
used to this. This is dope.
Well, you signed up.
I mean,
Sure.
Yeah.
my lasagna's still good. So is my cakes.
Yeah. So it's been a reflective week. I miss my dad.
Oh, yeah.
It's my first birthday without my dad, my first Thanksgiving without him, and I really, really, really miss my pop. But the birthday was amazing. Having fun with everybody was awesome, and then having a nice, relaxing week after that was cool. And what about you, babe?
It was really nice. I too had 3 days off, not 4 days like you, but I had coming out of your birthday week, and that was when I got back from LA, and then I went straight into a 5-day work week, and then I had these wonderful 3 days off, and I felt like a queen. I took care of myself. I enjoyed my time. I created, I crafted, I slept, and I just felt really good this week. I felt like I was regaining my energy back, and not just like my I felt like I was regaining my life force energy back, like my chi, not just like energy to do things. I felt like for a while that I was kind of like in a stupor of like just annoying behaviors. And I feel like I got back this week somehow. And I don't know that I'm 100% back, but I definitely feel like, when you wake up and you start, you kind of wiping your eyes, those first few blinks aren't very clear. Like I feel like I saw the first clarity after that one blink.
You got the sleep out your eyes. You're ready to go.
Yeah, and just realizing that even though I don't call it depression or sadness or having a hard time, I still go through them. It just is so different for me. I'm more reserved. I'm not as excitable or excited. And so reflecting back on like my prior few weeks, I'm like, wow, yeah, I really wasn't in the right headspace, but I feel like I'm in the much better headspace.
Good.
I do.
I can see it on your face.
I do.
When we were walking today, I was looking over at you and you got Stella got her groove back. I can see the shine in your skin even looks different.
Well, thanks, babe.
After 23 years, I could see it.
Yeah, it just feels weird. And you're right, babe. It's been a very reflective time. 23 years, like my entire adult life. I've never been apart from you.
I've been with you for over almost half of my life.
And so when I think about that, and I guess just everything is so important this year, like thought wise, because we're alone with our thoughts so much this year. And I just have such a immense gratitude for what we built. I really have I'm so grateful. And that's it. Like I'm just establishing gratitude for it is really what has been weighing on me this past week. And not heavily, you know what I mean? Not in a negative way, but just
thinking about it. It's been prevalent in your head. Yeah, I get you. About you, Apple?
I'm just following you two. Well, first of all, happy anniversary.
Thanks,
you.
man.
To you guys.
You've been there for the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been a trip to see Aaron grow up.
I bet, man.
For Mel to come into his life. And that's weird. Like timeline just hit me. I never really thought of that. You guys got married November 30th, 97. I left and moved to the mountains for my self-imposed rehab beginning of June, 97.
Oh, wow.
That was the year everything changed.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was the only time that we were apart for a while, like me and Aaron as friends. So that's a trip to 23 years. Simon's 18 now, like getting.
Yeah.
He's growing up, moving on with
grandparents.
his life. But that doesn't have anything to do with my week. I'm just thinking about everything you guys were just talking about. It's been amazing to be part of this.
It's been amazing to have you be part of it.
And then I just started like right now, Santa Claus has realized that I need to treat myself. I need to take a little retreat, just myself, and go do something soon. Like take a couple extra days because I'm not getting any extra days. Haven't in a while. Just listening to you get Aaron's like 4 days off. Mel's like 3 days off.
It rejuvenates
It's
you.
like I had 1 day off this week. It was Thanksgiving and then our Black Friday sell. And not saying that I don't love my work, but it's gotten to be too much. It's getting to where I don't
is you just don't break.
enjoy it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
And I got to get back to that. I've done it a couple times, but like with the holiday thing, it's heavy too. But I don't want to go like to Vegas to go visit family. I don't want to go to California to go see my mom. I need to go do something for myself. I want to sit on the patio of like a cabin by a lake and just like read a book and have tunes on real lightly and just chill for the weekend, like get some headspace. But my week was good. Very busy. Cannabis is just thriving this year. And like I've said before, I'm really thankful for my job because it's kept me busy and it's kept my head in something that I feel is a benefit to myself and everybody that comes in and buys cannabis and treats themselves with that. And this week was like Thanksgiving was really, really special, but also kind of melancholy, not having family around.
Yeah.
But things are getting better. And like we said, we got to keep that love and shit flowing. Keep feeding that thing and not letting the negativity
Yeah.
feed that bad Jabba the Hutt, whatever
were
the
you-
hell thing it is
Yeah.
that's feeding off of this fear and this craziness in this world right now.
You know what you need to do, bro? What a good thing for you to do would be.
You know what you need to do, Apple?
You're talking about getting away, be in a cabin by a lake, blah, blah, blah. Mel and I are going to
Mount Adams.
Mount Adams.
In Washington.
And it's this thing called Getaway. And it's like it's a
This
tiny
is a
house.
shameless plug.
Well, no, they're not a sponsor of the show. I'm just telling them about it. They're like little tiny houses.
Wow.
And it's cheap, dude. It's like $120 a night. It's not outrageously expensive. And they're in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
There's not even cell service out there. And it's completely stocked. And
like you show up.
you show up.
It tells you everything that they have.
Yeah.
Like it gives you a list of things that not to bring because they have it.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And there's electricity and there's a hot shower. And it's
Firewood.
all in firewood, all of it.
You're off the grid.
And you're off the
chill.
grid and
All
you
right.
just go
Well,
and
you'll have to tell me more about
Yeah.
this later.
Yeah, you just
But
go.
yeah,
chill.
I need to take some time for myself. I've been giving a lot up.
Well, the thing too, Apple, is like you're not taking any extra time. You could do all the work you're doing, but you just need a break.
Yeah.
That's really it. That you become broken if you don't take a break. And that's where it's going. It's not like it's too hard for you. You can handle it. Like you handle it really well, actually. You're really good at your responsibilities, but you just need to handle your alone time and your care time.
And that's like a perfect. I need to check out like that, like you were saying, that place. You
Check
lock
out, exactly.
your cell phones, and because there's no cell service, there's a lock.
And there's a
box.
lockbox for your
You
cell
put your
phone.
phone away. You show up, put your phone away. You take your 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 12, 14, whatever days you plan to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something here.
You know what? Anyway. Yeah. I just had an idea. Anyway. So I've been with Mel for 23 years. I've been your best friend for over 30. So I see you, dude. And I see the, I don't even know what the word is. Like
Angst or something.
No,
I was gonna say
it's
like
just
Mel.
funk.
Well, like Mel said, I don't. We all suffered from depression and everything, but I've just never really categorized that in myself because I guess it's a stubborn thing.
Me too.
Kind of like, no, I'm not depressed because I deal with it and take it head on, and I can usually stay pretty positive no matter. You know this with me.
Of course.
I don't have a lot to complain about growing up. I've had a good life and stuff, but like this year is something none of us have experienced, and I know it's starting to get to all of us, and it's getting to me. And that's hard to deal with when you're not used to dealing with depression and having your mind flipped and stuff. It's hard to deal with
Yeah, it
sometimes.
is.
Yeah. And I could see it.
really
I could
is.
see it on you. And like, I see it it comes out in actions with you, in ways that you move through your day to day. I see it come out. Like you disappear for longer periods of time. You'll only show up to eat and then you're back on your couch. Like you're not engaged.
Well, it's more reclusive.
Yeah.
That's all.
But I feel like that's kind of a norm with me,
No.
especially on my weekends.
No, I know what Aaron means because
Okay.
I live with you too, and
Because we all do. Our rooms are our sanctuary.
not what I'm talking about.
We love our rooms, and our rooms are dope. And you have every right to be in your room with all that cool shit. You have
Yeah,
your,
we're not
your
talking- I'm not
computer,
talking
your
about that.
couch, or not computer, but your TV.
It's another level of that.
Yeah, it's weird because like we miss you, but we don't because you're here. But it's the presence and the energy, that we miss, not necessarily you being upstairs.
And it's
been our household too, because it's really weird. Our household, usually we're pretty good in sync of like hanging out at the same times.
Yeah.
But a lot of time, me and Ryder were talking about this other day. It's like you come to hang out with the family, but like you guys are in your room like at 6 o'clock at night, like done for
That-
the night.
yeah,
and
I've been having a
up-
hard time.
All of us have been kind of off, like missing each other.
That's true.
In a
Very
way.
true, Apple.
That's
And,
I'm not
like-
talking about that either.
And like funky.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Funky, like the depression thing. I see it like in what you do and how you move around, and like it's tough from a friend's perspective. Like I know when I was going through shit at the beginning of this thing, and you guys were like talking behind me, like we're worried about him. Like Aaron fucking losing his shit, and like as your friend, it's tough, man, because I know you so well. Like I almost feel like I don't have to say anything. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yo, I mean,
But-
what
but
are
I
you gonna
should.
say anyway?
But
Like
exactly,
Like,
like-
are you bummed? Well, fuck yeah.
yeah,
we
what's
all
wrong?
are.
Duh, stupid. No, but I think it's super important what you just said. You need to get the fuck out of here
Yeah.
and away from your work and that fucking phone ringing all the time on you, and you never get to unplug, bro.
No,
And that's not healthy.
I'm always connected to what I do right now, and that's
you're-
partially that's a lot of my doing. I could, that's not like people I work for and stuff wouldn't let me. I do that. I especially this year, I've immersed myself in it big time, and it's getting. I don't want to ruin.
Yeah, don't turn cannabis into
enjoying-
new
yeah.
meth.
Yeah, being like fuck this shit, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
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 Anyway.
So
It's
that's
just-
how I'm doing,
it's
man.
just a little bit
it's-
of a balance, Apple. That's all you're missing. It's not even a big fix. It's
Well-
a simple fix.
Yeah, it's a simple fix. Well,
Yeah.
been part of it. This is the simple part of this, which I haven't done a whole lot on the show because I'm usually not feeling like it feels good just to speak it.
Yes.
Yeah, getting it
To
out, man.
get the words out.
That's why
and
I
not
said
just
something
to you
too.
guys. I mean, we talk to each other once in a while, but this is for everybody out there because, like Aaron, we all, everybody's having a hard time, man, and we're almost at the end of the year, and I'm feeling it heavy. Other part of it too, which I've been joking about, but is also serious too. Since we moved up here, I've become Santa Claus. I play Santa Claus every year. I do all this stuff, and I'm just. Even if I'm feeling it this year, I mean, I may dress up for work one day or something like that and stuff. I'm really feeling it now because this is usually the time I'm getting jolly and happy, and
Yeah.
not that I'm not going to, but it's tough right now coming down this last freaking month
Yeah.
of this
Coming
year.
around the bend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Apple.
Me
for
too,
sure.
man. And that's the thing, man, is you just said the most important part of when you're dealing with depression or having a
Speaking
hard
it
time
out.
is fucking just saying something to somebody, man.
Oh man.
That's
That's really hard for me. Like
Well,
so
that's-
hard.
Like we say, like Aaron said, that then I want to reaffirm that too. I don't say this enough either. It's a simple, even if you don't have somebody in the room to talk to, like I've got these two right here, but I'm also saying this to all of you. If you don't have anybody to talk to, reach out to us. Fucking serious. Aaron has said it. Mel has said it. I have said it.
And people
You
have
can
taken
reach
us
out
up
by-
on that.
Yeah, a lot of people have by email, by whatever, texting. If you want a phone call,
Yeah.
we're here and we get it. And
Yeah.
also that makes us feel good when we know that we're influential to you guys and that we mean something to you. It's
Yeah.
really flattering. And
I know that like we are a podcast to you guys, and those of you that listen every week, like you're part of the No Simple Road family, and you're used to hearing our voices, and you guys feel like you know us, and you do. I mean, this conversation that we're having would have happened with or without the
Well,
microphones.
there's an empty chair for
Yeah.
the
Yes,
the
this is
listener.
true.
Right. And so I say that because if you don't have somebody to be able to speak to, you've got us. Like you are not out there on your own by yourself through all this shit. And that's what I was saying at the beginning. And it's a real thing. It really does let the pressure out. Even if it's just a little bit, to be able to DM with somebody or talk to somebody on the phone for 10 minutes and just say, I'm fucking having a hard time, man. And then you're like, okay, you got a little bit of a spring in your step and somebody else knows about it. And I don't even know what that thing is that makes it feel okay after a little better. Like you get that feeling like you want to cry or you do cry. And then you're like, okay, I can fucking keep going a little bit more now.
Well, it's kind of like the same thing about yelling. Like yelling feels really good.
Yes,
like
it
just
does.
going and standing outside and just yelling. Something about
Go scream at a tree.
vocalizing, cracking that barrier, and like letting it out. Otherwise, if you're not letting it
scream
out,
therapy.
you gotta let it out.
Yeah,
I
man.
wanted to take this opportunity to bring something up really quick because it was too special to not go into. We, No Simple Road, got a visit from a wonderful, amazing.
We brushed over it last week. I was going to say, please tell them
NSR
about this.
family member. And I'll let you go, Apple, since you're excited about it because it really.
Well, I was excited last week, and then we got. Then we
it needs to be brought up.
So, we'll all talk about this
Sure.
because this is such a special person, Carrie, that came and visited us from up here in the Pacific Northwest.
at Art and Soul Design on Instagram.
Is that okay? She was supposed to come by like a month ago, but as everything's been weird this year, but she stopped by on Aaron's birthday, late afternoon, and where was I? Was actually at the grocery store. I was coming home with stuff for dinner, and just such a kind, soulful woman.
It was just like a literal blessing drop from heaven.
Brought a basket of goodies and everything, and just such a kind soul. And
Brought us bread, brought us wine, brought me a tie-dye, brought you beer and ciders, brought Darwin a treat,
Bought
brought
me a
Mel
little
wonderful
a little
paintings.
bag. Oh no, a little bag with essential oils made under the moon and like skincare, and then also these beautiful cards that she painted.
I was gonna say, brought the coolest,
With
one of the coolest
the best Santa I've ever
Claus
seen.
portraits I've ever seen. And I was commenting on it, and she goes, "Oh, thank you, I did that."
Well,
Which even
Apple
blew me
didn't
away
know
even
because
more.
you came back a little bit later. She had unloaded the bag and was telling us all about it, and I just stopped at the cards. I was like, I don't care what else is in this basket. This is amazing. I go, I love cards, and she was just like, oh yeah, that was
We'll have to
something
post
I
a
painted.
picture of
Yeah, this is amazing. She's
Santa
amazing.
one blows me away. He's like the cool woodlands lumberjack Santa. He's he's not old and decrepit. He's cool.
No, he's like sturdy and strong.
That Santa's
and
been to some dead shows.
He reminds me of like Groundskeeper Willie when he pulls off his shirt,
He's all
like that
buff.
Santa. He would have that.
Totally. But Carrie is old school Grateful Dead family, and just the kindest sister. And we've never met. And she just reached out to us through Instagram and said that she was going to be in the area. And I was like, come on by. And it was another of those chance meetings that just added to our family. So from all of us to you, Carrie, thank you for coming by and blessing me on my birthday with your presence. And
just
literally and figuratively.
And for catching us up with family. I felt like you're my sister or my aunt that I hadn't seen in a little while and picked right back up.
Yep. And she did something super special for me because...
Yeah, she did.
I don't even know how we got talking on that conversation.
You have been beefing with your mom and not speaking.
Yeah, and I mentioned it on the show a few weeks ago or whatever, but somehow we got talking about it while she was here, and she was like, oh my gosh, you need to listen to this Krishna Das podcast. And so she starts telling me about it, and then
you never made it to the podcast.
She told me it was more than the Cliff Notes. I mean, she told me the bread and butter
the cutest
of it.
She's out there. I don't like to give people advice. Well, here I go giving you advice.
But what she did for me was and I was reading it just a little bit ago. Last full moon, I put a prayer out for some guidance on how to deal with my mom. And then Carrie comes along happily with her cute little self and says, listen to this Krishna Das podcast. This is what he says, ... And from that, I invited Mom to Thanksgiving breakfast because we had a nice quiet Thanksgiving dinner, but I invited her to breakfast, and it wasn't like everything was better, but I was better. My head felt better, and she just was a conduit and I'm at a loss for words because I want to kind of cry about it, but like what she did for me was place this seed that grew into a better understanding of my mom, and she didn't do it directly. It was through these different channels, but nevertheless I got the message.
What I see, the way I can explain this is like Mel had this like a suit of armor, like a breastplate on made of steel when her mom was concerned. And Carrie came by, just like woodland hippie with a acetylene welding torch and just like nonchalantly welded the breastplate open and made it fall on the floor. And Mel was standing there without the breastplate on for the first time in a really long time going,
yeah, when I was crying too.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody's ever met me, it's very easy to make me cry, whether it's because I'm happy or sad or I'm excited. Like we
listen to a song and I'll look over and Mel's bawling. I'm like, what the hell happened?
If I get too high, I cry.
Yeah, that's true. Great sandwich. She's crying.
Yeah.
So, but there's moments though where crying is very profound for me, and it's like cleansing and healing for me. And that was one of those times, was having Carrie over here. And like Aaron said, we never met, and here I am. She's like so excited. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe, I'm here. I feel like I know you guys and, all this. But then she's coming and helping to heal my heart about my mom.
Yeah.
So
super cool, man.
Carrie, I am so grateful to you. Thank you so much. And shout out to Krishna Das, because he's what's up too.
All right. Let's do the business. Let's get him to the interview.
Let's do it.
So follow us on all the social media platforms at No Simple Road.
Are we going to talk about something
I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Yeah, or do that in the business.
Okay.
All social media platforms at No Simple Road. When you guys post on Instagram, do me a favor. Use the hashtag No Simple Road so that we can figure out what's going on with the No Simple Road family through all this. That helps us all stay connected. That lets me see your post, Mel see your post, Apple see your post, Darwin by proxy sees your post because he's usually sitting next to me, Mel or Apple. So use the hashtag No Simple Road when you do your stuff, and we can all stay in touch with each other. That's what the name of the game is this year anyway. And go to www.nosimpleroad.com. It's the holidays. You and your friends all listen to No Simple Road, and if you don't, you should be. But you can also get No Simple Road gear there. So go up at the top, click on the merch tab. There's fanny packs, there's metal cups, there's sweatshirts, raglan shirts, t-shirts.
The hoodies are so comfortable. I just got my maroon one with the new logo. I freaking love it.
I love mine too. And
I have not worn. Oh, did I?
You got a brand new one. You haven't worn it yet. And you guys, I need you to go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. This is that time of the year. It's the end of the year. Everything goes up in cost for the new year. 2020 is basically a wash for NSR, and we need your help, man. If we want to keep doing the show, we need you guys to step up. So the way that you do that is by going to patreon.com/No Simple Road and signing up for $1 a month or $2 a month. If you listen to this show every week and you get something out of it and we're helping you through and all that, help us out a little bit, man. We want to keep doing this. We want to keep spreading it and continuing the mission. In
$1 is a great bargain too.
Yeah.
25 cents a show.
Yeah.
2 bits. What can you
Christmas
buy for 2 bits anymore?
What does that even
shillings.
mean? 2 bits. Yeah. Patreon.com/No Simple Road. Am I forgetting anything?
Go over to Apple Podcasts. Give us those 5-star reviews, and we have a new review this week. Do you care? Do you care if I read it?
No, you should read it.
Okay, we had this come in on Monday from Easy Street Mama. Easy Street Mama says, tune in and turn on. I'd like to say thank you for starting. I'm sorry. Let me start over. I'd like to say thank you for sharing your stories and knowledge. Every time I tune in, it feels as if I'm surrounded by like-minded friends that are saving a space for me at the table. It allows me to feel connected, understood, and somehow validated on my life path. As an avid podcast listener, I've never felt as home with any other out there, and I recommend you all. I'm like tongue-tied like hell.
You wanted to read it.
I got emotional earlier.
I know you did.
I've never felt as home with any other out there, and I recommend you all to all my like-minded folk. Keep up the great work. It's very much appreciated. And heart and lightning bolt, Easy Street Mama.
Easy Street Mama, thank you.
Yes, and thank you. And I know you said it much better than that, and I kind of messed that up. But the sentiment was
sentiment
heavy
was
and
amazing.
Makes me feel good.
Yeah, man. Those reviews not only make Apple tear up and feel good and make us feel good, but they also help other people find out about No Simple Road. So that is a way that you can do something for the show that doesn't cost a single dime.
Not one penny.
So before we get to the interview, I want to tell you about one more thing that we got going on. This is something new, and this came to us through Jam in the Van. And the guys from Jam in the Van are
so dope.
Are fucking awesome, and they are partnered with a company called Medicine Box Wellness. And Jam in the Van reached out to me, and they were like, "Hey, I think you guys would be a good fit to work with these people. We'll put you in touch." I was like, "Okay, let's do that." So I had a call with them and got the scoop on their entire mission of who they are and what this company does. And it is fucking amazing. And that's why you're not hearing this like in the ads portion at the beginning of the show. I really wanted you guys to hear this and
from us.
And soak it in and not fast forward past it. So just think about this. So what this company does is they make
tinctures,
CBD, CBG, CBN, CBC tinctures with herbal extract also in the mix. So they have 7 pillars, and their whole thing is like the 7 pillars are a lifestyle that go together with their product, right? So they integrate mental and physical and spiritual health. They take like a holistic approach to wellness. And these 7 pillars are music, mindfulness, nature, food, collaboration, community, and recovery. And these people are the real deal, man. And their stuff is awesome. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. They were founded back in 2016 on the shores of North Lake Tahoe. And they emerged from the California medical cannabis community, and they distinguished themselves through their commitment to edibles and tinctures, which used all locally sourced organic stuff. And then they decided to spin off and create Medicine Box Wellness, which was for the CBD market. And they came up with these 3 products. The first one is called Equanimity. And so this is a 2019 Emerald Cup award-winning tincture, now with CBD and CBN. It promotes optimal sleep. It maintains a calm and measured mood. And I'm going to tell you something. That is no joke, man. Contains many highly sought herbs, including skullcap, valerian, and licorice. And it's a proprietary blend of soothing herbs, superfoods, and wide-spectrum hemp extracts. So that's Equanimity. That one is really, really good for sleep. And then they have another one that's called Happy Belly. And Happy Belly is a herbal hemp-derived feast for your gut microbiome. It has preliminary studies show an association with gut biome with corresponding mood profiles. It has a bunch of antioxidants in it. And introducing promising digestion positive spices such as cinnamon with the gut-soothing
really
medicinal mushroom, red reishi mushroom. And it's a potent prebiotic aperitif, which tastes great too, like Mel said. So they've got your sleep covered. They've got your belly covered. And then for those of you that do any kind of strenuous activity, working out or anything like that, they've got one called Vital Recovery. And this one bolsters mental and physical endurance. It's a plant-based solution for pre and post-workout fatigue. So if you're a clean hippie that likes to take care of your body, this is a way for you to get that recovery with a really like quality natural solution. It has a wide spectrum of hemp extracts, and this one has the entire farm in it. CBD, CBC, CBG, and CBN, shiitake mushroom, chaga, maitake, and red reishi. So these guys are the shit. And we're not doing like promo codes with them. We're not doing ads with them. What you do is you go to nosimpleroad.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page and click through that link, and you will get 15% off of your purchase. And there's still a couple of days left in November, in the month of November. Well, this is shit. This is going to come out after that. Never mind. You're going to get 15% off. Click through on that link, and you will have that automatically applied to your thing for you. You don't have to do anything. There's no codes or anything like that. And go check it out. It's Medicine Box Wellness. Just click through on the No Simple Road page down at the bottom, and that'll get you where you need to be. If you just go to their website on your own, you won't get the discount. So don't do that. That's not what we want to do. But yeah, what?
Why is this going to say beyond that these products that they're making are amazing and everything? And do yourself a favor, if you've ever discounted cannabis or the medicinal quality of it, it is amazing what they're doing now. I am seeing CBN and CBG are two major ones that, I mean, they've known about for a little while, but now they're bringing them to market. CBN, look into it, study it, order stuff from them. CBN is a game changer when it comes to helping with sleep and stuff. And then CBG is like CBD, but even more powerful for anti-inflammatory.
It's super CBG.
But we all know how to do this. We have we have these computers, we have these phones in our hands. Do research for yourself to find out what it means. A lot of times asking people, I work in the field, and it's hard to, you can't guarantee anything for anybody. Everybody is different. We're all different snowflakes and stuff. You got to figure yourself out. And what these guys are making too is something that speaks to all that, all the other herbs and everything they put into it. So figure yourself out, do some research, try these products and other ones. Cannabis is true medicine is all I wanted to say. I see it all the time.
Yep. There you go. So that is the last thing that you're going to hear from us this week. That's it. We're going to get you to the interview, you guys.
One last thing.
And one last thing. Darwin's got something to say. No, without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you Tony from
Wood and Wire.
Bluegrass is gone MP3. Old Tommy went AC/DC. And I don't know where I should be. I don't know where I can go. Where they're gonna have J.D. Crowe playing on the radio. I just don't know where I can go. I can't go home. Can't keep roaming. Can't keep loaning my days away. The old home is gone. Everything I love has turned the other way. Well, I don't know where I should play, and I think it's pretty safe to say that old sandbox is blown away. I just don't know where I should play. I quit trying to connect. Dust a record off and put it on the deck. Kick back to my ways well set. I quit trying to connect. I can't go home. Can't keep roaming. Can't keep loaning my days away. The old home is gone. Everything I love has turned the other way. crease unfold. Growing up and getting old, realizing everything I was told as every crease unfold. No matter where it goes from here, you bet your bottom book I'm gonna stay clear. They're gonna build a phone right into your ear. No matter where it goes from here, can't go home, can't keep rolling, can't keep loaning my years away. The old home is gone, everything I've loved has turned the other way.
I hit the button, Apple, Melanie. The button has been hit.
All right.
It sounds good in here today. It sounds all warm and cozy.
It is warm and cozy because it's blustery outside.
You're blustery outside. All right.
I am when I'm outside.
So we're going to call Tony from Wooden Wire. Let's do this. With the magic of my Bluetooth telephone system. It's ringing. Darwin's chilling. Tony?
Yeah, how's it going?
Oh, it sounds great.
There we go.
Good, good. Can you hear yourself repeating or anything, or are we good?
No, I think we're set. Yeah, everybody in the room here okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey guys,
Hey,
Hey.
What's going on, man?
not much. I'm in Houston seeing some family and headed down to the beach with them for a couple of days.
Fun.
Yeah, hell yeah. That sounds like a good time. Like, especially nowadays, man, anything you can do to get out of the norm and routine is a good thing. It's
Damn right,
it's
dude.
fucking nuts,
It's
man.
it is, yeah. And we all got tested, and so I feel good hanging out with mom and stuff, and safe. And I'm pumped to get down there and relax, work on some music, and then I'll head back into the real world on Wednesday or so.
Where are you heading to? Down on the beach? Down by Corpus Christi or something? Or
Galveston, Texas.
Galveston?
So, Galveston Island, and right at the southern tip of the island, or I guess they'd say the western tip. But so yeah, it's kind of desolate down there, but there's some small communities of homes and stuff.
Desolate is a good thing right now, actually. You know what? Before we get going, this is Aaron, and I also have
Hi, Tony. This is Melanie. Welcome to No Simple Road. And then we have one more.
And then you have Apple. Thank you very much for joining us on this beautiful Saturday.
I'm happy to be here. I've enjoyed listening to the podcast to get to know the format. It's a cool thing y'all are doing.
Oh man,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
Why don't you let everybody know who you are for for those
And
that
the
are
cool
listening.
thing you do.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah. Well, my name is Tony Kamel, and I play guitar and sing with a bluegrass band based out of Austin, Texas, called Wood and Wire.
So, welcome, first of all. But, Tony, man, the way that I found out about you guys was through an email from your publicist, that like a press release. And I was like, I've never heard of these guys. Let me check it out. And put on the album, and immediate was like, oh, shit, we got to get these guys on the show. And it's amazing. The work you guys have done in what is it, 9 years you guys have been at it?
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, we were the first beginnings of the band started 9 years ago in 2011, and it's certainly morphed into different. I mean, we've had pretty much the same members aside from one guy, but there have been some different phases of the band, and different times where we were busier. We didn't really start hitting the road real hard until about 3 years in. So, but the last 6 years, we've had some real busy summers and been at it pretty heavily. So, despite the downsides of this pandemic, it's actually been nice to be home and spend some time with our families. We're not that young, So it's like, if I kind of wish sometimes I had started playing music full time and touring when I was in my 20s, but there's a good chance I wouldn't have survived. So
yeah, me either.
It makes sense. But it's been 9 years since the inception, which is sort of mind blowing to think about.
Yeah, time is a very weird thing, especially lately. It's going by so fast, and 9 years flies by like in the blink of an eye. But you say that you guys weren't really on the road for those first 3 years, and for you, like, this was your first real like playing with a band, right? This was it.
That's right. Yeah, I graduated from school and basically went straight to normal work life. And a few years before, a year or so before Wood and Wire, before I left my job, or maybe 2 years, I was jamming more with people and playing on stage here and there with a couple of people. But this was the first band that I sort of formed, and I formed it with Dominic, the bass player, and Trevor, and another guy who a different mandolin player that for the first 3 years. But yeah, this is the first band that I formed, or I was involved in the founding of the band and the development and everything, and the first band that was real serious or anything really. So
yeah,
I was so green.
Well, I mean, you got to start somewhere. Shit, man, none of us are born doing the thing that we're doing, and it's just strange, man. Like, you hear stories of people playing music that are like, their whole life they've been struggling and playing with bands and doing this and that, and then they finally break through. But you've been fortunate in that you haven't had to go through that bullshit of, changing bands and doing all that. And, you brought up the sound of Wood and Wire. And like I told you, man, when I first listened to you guys, I was blown away that you hear bluegrass, and I don't know about everybody else in the room, but like when I hear that, it puts the music in a category in my head. And you guys were definitely not that. Of course it is bluegrass, but listening back through the albums and stuff, it's very different than any other stuff that's out there. And it trips me out too, that when we talk to a lot of bluegrass musicians, like, their background is all in like punk rock and metal, so where did your sound come from? Where did that start developing? What was your musical roots?
Well, collectively, the sound we have is something, the uniqueness of, our take on what we do, and the flavor that we've created is the thing I'm most proud of.
So good.
And we got that over time, and just by letting each person in the band be themselves musically, and we don't tell each other what to play and or how to interpret things. We're just fortunate that we meld together well, and we vibe together on a musical level really well, and all of our influences outside of bluegrass, and we all have different influences outside of bluegrass, work together through sort of bluegrass instruments to create the sound that we've managed to do so over the last 7 to 9 years. For my part, I grew up on all kinds of music. My parents had a record collection. I kind of found everything from Frank Zappa was something I got real into when I was young, and Jerry Jeff Walker too, who passed away this morning.
Oh,
or
wow.
last night. Yeah, I know. He was a Texas legend in his style, and all those Texas guys, Willie Nelson and Townes Van Zandt, anyone you can possibly think of. I got into that kind of stuff, and I was also getting into some classic rock and not psychedelic rock in the sense that you guys talk about a lot on this podcast. I did really like the Grateful Dead, but I was more into some harder stuff like Frank Zappa, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, and things like that.
You're speaking our language, by the way. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. And so, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Billy was our mandolin player, was into some punk rock and this kind of a cool underground punk rock scene in El Paso. He was running around in El Paso around the same time as the guys from the Mars Volta.
Oh wow.
Were doing their thing when they were all in high school together, and so he was part of that. He was influenced by that scene. Trevor grew up in Tucson, playing in hardcore bands, and Dominic grew up in upstate New York and has a jazz degree, the bass player. So we all have these, and we all love bluegrass as listeners, and we like to jam and got into picking circles and got into bluegrass in different ways. But the way that we play and interpret our original music is really influenced by the stuff that we grew up on.
Yeah, man. You can, now that you're saying it, I can hear it in the music. Like, it's really there. And I think one of the things that really drew me to you guys was it's not traditional bluegrass at all.
Right.
It is psychedelic on a lot of levels, man. I mean, there's songs, you got one song on No Matter Where It Goes From Here that's like 9 minutes long, just jamming.
Yeah, dude. If that song's called Clamps Shoot.
That's it.
Billy wrote that song, an instrumental, and we play it live. We're not as jammy, I guess, as a lot of jamgrass bands out there. The way we jam is a little more structured. Not that theirs aren't, but it's just a little different. It's a little less loose, I would say, but still quite loose. And that song, Billy wrote, and we've been playing on stage, and it's always so fun, especially at certain types of events and festivals and our own live shows. And we recorded that in the studio just for fun. Like, we honestly didn't even intend to use it on the record.
Really?
Yeah, I'm so glad you did.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So am I. I am too, because I just felt like it's really fun to take risks on records, and we could have replaced that song with two other vocal songs that I wrote, actually, but I was more into the idea of having that longer sort of psychedelic instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
And so we recorded it just for fun. We thought it'd be fun to do it, and we were kind of warming up in a way, but we were in a loose state of mind and figured it'd be kind of fun to just play it. And we played it a few times, and that take is pretty live. I mean, there might be a fix or two in there, but most of the stuff we do is live. And that one in particular was very, very organic.
Yeah.
Then we got into in the mixing process, we made it a little more interesting with effects and mixing and stuff. But the actual performance, that's like a true live performance.
I think it's a great way to like lay the album down, like ending it with the nice 9-minute jam kind of lays you down and gives you all music. It's great.
Thanks for saying that. It's so funny. Like, we put out the record, and I do read the reviews we get. Just, I don't always care, but I have a little bit of an ego, I guess. And sometimes if people don't like something, I might feel a little butthurt.
We want people to like us.
I like that.
Yeah, man.
I ain't doing it so people can hate it.
You're not a rock.
Yeah, I know. But, I like to tell people that I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks, and I don't. But I think everyone does.
Oh,
that's the punk rock in all of us. We don't want to care, but we totally care.
Yeah, and then you go, they
so
don't like
true.
me.
Punk rockers care so much about being punk rockers.
Yeah.
So
that's my roots, man. And I get what you're saying, dude. Like, even with doing a podcast, it's the same shit. Like, people say stuff all the time, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing this because I love it, and I don't care
and
what
next
anybody.
thing you know, Aaron's changing it up based on what somebody said. Like,
this one person said something, and it influences.
It's tough.
It's so true. I mean, it's true. In the first review that came out was from the UK, and the guy, it was a great review, except for he didn't like that song. And I was like, man, because there's a part at the back of my mind that's like, fuck it, let's put this one on there. It doesn't matter if people don't like it. Some people will think it's crazy. Then the first thing that came out was like, this was a little crazy. And I was like, oh.
Fuck.
And but then every single review after that was like, and then the 9-minute instrument at the end is awesome. So it really worked out, and I'm super proud of that one.
You should be, man.
It's a really fun song to play live.
Yeah, and for people like me and Apple and Mel that like jammy shit, that's letting us know that it's like a tip of the hat. Like, hey,
well, then with the roadie circles too, where you bring Peter Rowan in, like play with a legend and stuff, and that one. I mean, it's a great album, the way it's put together, everything. But that roadie circles, that one really grabs you too.
Good, yeah, that's a great song. Trevor, our banjo player, wrote that one, and we brought Peter in at the last minute. He recorded the yodel from his house in California.
Oh shit!
During the pandemic, like, that
really?
was the last thing we did. Yeah, and so Billy, our mandolin player, he worked with Peter and Tony Rice for 6 years. So he's traveled with them. He traveled with Peter Rowan as his mandolin player for that period, and part of that was with Tony Rice. So he knows Peter really well, and we've gotten to know him. And so he texted Peter. And you know how that song starts off with the yodel?
Mm-hmm.
That was all Peter. Like, we just wanted him to put some yodels on there, and he thought it'd be cool to start off with that crazy yodel.
That shit's
as soon as
awesome.
it came back, I was like, hell yeah, that's perfect.
It's. I wonder what your perspective is on the name of the music. Like you said it a few minutes ago, jamgrass, and it seems like every bluegrass outfit that we speak to has their own, like, I don't know, name for the kind of bluegrass they play, like trash grass, galaxy grass, new grass, jam grass. Where do you think that you guys fit in that? And do you have a name for the kind of music that you're playing? You just call it bluegrass, or?
My great uncle, who's 89, he's a great guy, and he calls it hard country.
Oh shit!
And yeah, it's sort of like, it goes even farther into the country realm to where you start to go into bluegrass. I don't know. I kind of like that name because we have sort of a backbeat country feel in a lot of the songs we play. And on the record we put out previously, especially the North of Despair record, had some more backbeat style songs. I kind of like that description, and I haven't thought of a name that has the word grass in it that adequately describes us.
I think that fits, man. That does fit you guys. Because another thing that really sparked my interest with you is the lyrical style that you guys have. And the writing is something special. It really is. And
it's very current too.
That's what I was just going to say. It speaks to the time. It really does. And I mean, I play guitar a little bit and fool around and whatnot, and it always blows my mind that anybody can put it together like that and bring it out. What does it look like when you sit down to write something? Like, is it the music first? Is it the lyrics first? How does it come out?
For me personally, it's melody first. Melody is really where the basis for almost all of my songwriting is over the melody. I can come up with melodies quickly. I can't come up with lyrics quickly. I kind of put myself through a lot of pain thinking of all lyrics that I want, and it takes a while. But if there's not a good melody, then it won't draw people in, and I won't like it anyway. So the melody is important. I mean, there's bands out there that are huge that have great melodies, and some of their lyrics don't make any sense at all, and they're still good songs because the melodies are awesome,
That's so true.
So for me personally, it's melody, and then then I think hard about the lyrics, and I can't speak for Billy. Wrote several songs on this record, and I can't necessarily speak for him and his process.
Right.
He doesn't have a real. Neither one of us are very intentional writers. We both we've let it come when we feel creative, and it comes in waves. And I think there are a lot of writers like that. There's some guys who are real prolific and write something every day. We're not those kind of guys. We kind of wait till the muse strikes us, if you will, and then we when I'm in a phase like that, that's when I make time, and I'm like, I'm going to make sure and write hard for several hours every morning until I don't feel like it anymore. It could be a week, it could be several months, but when I feel those waves, that's when I get real diligent. But if I'm not feeling those waves, I just don't stress about it and relax and do other stuff.
Huh.
Do you think that's because maybe you didn't start playing music right away? Like after, like it's not, it seems, and I could be way off base for all the musicians, but like after talking to a bunch of musicians, the ones that kind of like, they knew what they were doing, they're hitting it right after high school or in college. And so that's their focus. Everything's about that. But you said that you went and you kind of like lived a life, started working normal. So it's almost like the pressure's off. You know what that other life is like, and you're doing this because you want to. And so maybe it takes the pressure off of like having to feel like you need to come up with a hit. Maybe music's a little bit more, or like just less pressure, more fun.
That's a good point, Melanie. I hadn't really thought of it that way, but I'm sure that could be the case. I think in general, for me, I just know that when I force just about anything, it's just not as good as it could be.
Yeah.
So, especially in the creative world, and that's true with relationships and any given subject. And I'm sure there are exceptions. I mean, when you gotta push and you gotta work hard and you gotta force some things, that happens for sure. But I think in general, if I force things, then it doesn't work. It's usually not as good, And there's only I've sort of given in to only so much control that one has, and that sort of helps me relax into writing whenever I feel like it, and creating whenever I feel like it. And, when I feel like it, then I'll really push it. And I think that's really, but that's a good point. I hadn't thought about it that way. I guess I'd have to think about it a little more to.
Well, right. Yeah. Just because I think if you're not like, I don't want to say you're not invested, but what I mean is like, if you've really got all your chips on that, Black 7 or whatever, you're going to be a little bit more nervous or a little bit more, everything's on the line. But if you've got a little bit more outside, you got Black 7, you got Red 21, you got whatever, then okay, you got a couple more chances. So it's not that much pressure. It's not that big of a deal.
I agree. Yeah, that's true. And I, you guys are in the Northwest, so I'm sure you guys know about Danny Barnes.
No.
No. Okay.
Tell us about him.
So Danny he's a Northwest String Summit guy. He's there every year, either by himself or with someone. He's an excellent banjo player. He was playing with when Jeff Austin was still around. He was playing the Jeff Austin band. He lives in Washington on Vashon. No, I can't remember which island he's on, but he's just this legendary banjo player, and he's a mentor to me in some ways, and a friend. And I consider him someone who I look up to. And I kind of learned from him that, he doesn't play. He goes through periods where he won't pick up a banjo for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. And he's been doing, over this pandemic, he took up drawing comics and pictures and stuff, and they're really cool. And I kind of learned from him indirectly. This isn't something he advised me on. I just sort of saw what he does, that you can bring out much better stuff to dig into and create around whenever you do other things, and learn other things. And take yourself out of the music for a little while, however that may be. you know.
Well,
That's
Go fishing a lot.
yeah, what a great way, because I think about, like, if you're going for a walk, that can totally inspire you to write music. But if you're, like you were saying, just kind of like putting, the rubber to the road and like you just focus all on that, like sometimes you get that block, no matter how much you want to create it. If you kind of take yourself outside of it, you can allow yourself to be inspired by so much other stuff that doesn't have to do with, the banjo or the guitar or the drums.
I felt it with just life during the pandemic. Like, for me, Tony, I work a day job. We all work day jobs. And, getting into that routine of just going to work, eating dinner, unwinding at the end of the day, going to sleep. There's no external input. And I've come to realize through all this that, like, even though you're passionate about something, you have to have stimulation outside of that passion to make that thing, to spark that fire and make you have any ideas in the first place. So that totally makes sense. And how you've got to do things aside from what the actual passion is to give you fuel for your writing and your playing. And I hear a lot, like, talking about getting in the flow state and, like, being in the zone and being creative by the muse. And I wonder for you, man, is there, like, have you noticed there's, like, certain conditions that bring it on, or is it just sporadic? Woo! Set break.
I love
Finally.
set break.
It's a good thing to do at set break.
Go pee.
Yep. Go pee. One of my favorite things to do when I'm super high at set break at a show,
Shave?
is to go shave. I do. I love to go into the bathroom at a show and take.
Weird.
It's not weird. You're weird.
I know.
It's not weird at all to shave at a show, dude. I think that going into the bathroom at a show and grabbing my Harry's razor is the perfect thing to do. Or, you know what? There is no shows right now. So,
Yeah.
And I know a lot of us are locked down and it's not really cool to leave the house. So instead of having like a huge hairy ball sack or hairy pits, or if you're one of those
everybody's
guys,
letting it go a little bit.
We are
man,
letting
sure.
it go, but you don't do it.
It's the holidays. It's time to clean up.
That's true.
And so for a limited time, listeners of the show can get $5 off a holiday shave set by heading to harrys.com/NSR. So check it out.
Harrys.com.
All joking aside, you're not shaving at a show. You're shaving at home, and it's the holiday time, and you're thinking about getting gifts, and make it easy on yourself. Give the gift that keeps on giving all year long. It's practical. It's something that we're going to use. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to get it and go, oh, cool, thanks, man, and put it in the box and find it next year and try and re-gift it to somebody else. I'm going to use it all year long. It's backed by a 100% quality guarantee, so if he doesn't love it or she doesn't love it, you can get a full refund. And Harry's blade refills are as low as $2 each, so
really
you're going to
cheap.
save money. Yeah, and these are dope razors. These are
they are.
award-winning razors. They are no bullshit. These aren't razors that came in second or third place. These actually won an award, so you know that the hair on your body is in trouble when you're using a Harry's razor. So like I said, you can go to harrys.com/NSR and get this holiday theme gift box. And this is a wonderful little package that's got everything you need in it. It's got a weighted ergonomic handle that you can actually get engraved if you want. It has 3 razor cartridges, foaming shave gel, and a travel cover, all packaged in a handsome holiday gift box. So don't gift socks this year. Delight the guy or the girl in your life with Harry's. To claim your $5 off plus free shipping, go to harrys.com/NSR. And then check this out, you guys. There is a new podcast that I want to tell you about. It's called Dead and Gone. And Mel and I started listening to it the other day, and it is super dope. It's like a
Well, it's like it reminds me of like those John Walsh. Remember the
Unsolved mysteries.
Yeah, Unsolved Mysteries, America's Most Wanted kind of thing. And then they go through like dramatizations, kind of.
Yeah, like a documentary. That was the
a
word
documentary,
I was trying to come
but
up with.
all of those things rolled into one about a super interesting subject.
So check this out. The guy, Payne Lindsay, he's the creator of Up and Vanished and Radio Rental. He partnered with Jake Brennan, the host of Disgraceland, for a brand new podcast called Dead and Gone. And so the premise of this is back in 1985, 2 fans of the Dead were brutally murdered. The police quickly arrested an African-American man who was eventually found guilty and sentenced to death. But for the last 3 decades, rumors have circled around the Grateful Dead community that the police got the wrong man. So what Dead and Gone is a 10-part investigative podcast that really dives deep into this 35-year-old case. And it uncovers a bunch of brand new information, like new witnesses with stories that point towards an alternative suspect who's maybe still out there. So if you aren't familiar with the Grateful Dead, and most of you listening to my voice right now pretty much know who the Grateful Dead are, don't worry, this podcast will not only explore this gruesome double murder or possible wrong conviction, but it also explores the dark side of the Grateful Dead and their cult-like following of self-proclaimed deadheads. So, yeah, wow, far out. That's not nice.
It's a cult like following.
I guess it is. So is No Simple Road, though. And if you're looking for your next true crime podcast obsession, go search out Dead and Gone in your podcast app right now and subscribe. It's that simple, Dead and Gone. Check it out. And I think the lights are going down.
Lights are going down.
Band's coming back. Wooden Wires getting ready to take the stage again. Woo, woo, woo.
It's sporadic for me. Like, it's funny. I don't get to choose whenever those periods come. And frankly, I hadn't written a full song or anything I liked for almost a full year. And I'm just these last couple of weeks feeling really creative again. And it feels so good. And because I was feeling weird because I hadn't gone that long really without any of these sort of waves coming through.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think the pandemic has something to do with that. In the beginning, I think a lot of artists, and you've probably heard this from some artists, they might have felt a lot of pressure to be really creative at the beginning. I mean, everybody did. But to me, it just stressed me out, and I was anxious, and I tried, but I knew that I couldn't force it, but I tried anyway, and it didn't take long. I was like, man, I'm just giving in. I'm giving into this thing, whatever it is. It's so far out of my control that I'm not going to let it stress me out on a creative level or professional level. Obviously, it stresses us all out not to know exactly what things look like in the future, when we'll be able to get back to work or something, at least something the way it used to look. But yeah, I think, I don't really get to choose when it comes. And I think a lot of creators have thematic inspirations. I mean, I grew up in Texas, but I grew up in Houston. It's a large city, so I'm not like a country boy. But I grew up going to the beach a lot. Down here, the beaches aren't as beautiful as they are on the West Coast, but they have their own flow and their own vibe, and it's really fun. It's a nostalgic thing to me. That's really a common inspiration for me, as well as my granddad had bought some property in Central Texas outside of Austin in the 70s. It's still in the family, and I still take care of it. My brothers and I and family do. So there's certain things that I look to when I'm feeling creative, but as far as when and in what conditions I need to be under, I don't really get to choose. But when I do feel that, when it does come, there are places I go to and places I put myself in to draw inspiration from. So I guess some of the answer to your question is yes, and some of it no.
Yeah, you're not waking up 6 a.m. and lighting sage, and you have your fucking amethyst crystal, and you
should try it though and see what happens.
I've never tried it, Aaron. Maybe that's what I need to do.
Yeah, you never know, man.
You have like 6 albums coming back to back.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We've talked a little bit about around it, but like the pandemic, man. How are you doing personally, man?
I'm doing way better now. It's been up and down. And these last, I'd say 3 weeks, frankly, I was pretty depressed because it was just sort of hitting me that we just really didn't know what it really, really, really will be a while before we can get back to real work as a group. And we've had some tough conversations as a band about it. And those kind of things are they hurt, to talk about, well, we're not really, probably not appropriate to play public gigs for a while. And, we're not, I like doing the live streams, but it doesn't scratch the itch for me.
Me either.
And, this last week, couple weeks, like we've had some good conversations with the band that make me feel good about the future, however it's going to look and however it's going to be. And we will always have what we've done, and we're going to do more, obviously, but it'll be before and after this phase for sure.
Oh, wow.
What do you see happening? Like, maybe say like flash forward 6 months or 8 months, not even like 20 years, but like, do you feel that it could make a comeback, like gathering for music again, like it used to? Or do you feel like it's something, not like you have to give an exact answer, but
we want to know now, Tony.
But yeah, like how do you feel about it, and how do you see it with, not just you guys, but like, your friends, musicians and everything else? Cause I'm sure you like live music as well.
Absolutely. I think kind of like I was saying, the before and after, I think there'll always be versions of every artistic aspect, festivals, concerts, bands. There's going to be a before the pandemic version and an after. So I think festivals will look different, but I do have a lot of faith that we'll get back to something that is close to and very similar to the way it's always been. I have confidence in science and confidence as us as a species to I don't know how long it'll take, but to where this virus will become hopefully something like the flu or something that we've adapted to over time with vaccines and safety at first, and then eventually, have treatments that make it less serious and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I believe in that it'll always be around, but I think that we're a smart species and we'll figure out how to make it part of normal life and not as dangerous.
Yeah.
And when that happens, things will resume. But I also think that we've learned that we can take some measures to make everyone healthier and safer in a normal environment as things are normal. But but if you're asking me if I think we're going to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with each other and ride the rail and party at a festival or concert, I think we're going to get back to that. I just don't know when. I just don't know when.
Even if no one knows, it just is nice to hear that people have hope,
Well, like you guys are in Austin. Sure. I mean, like no South by Southwest this year. I mean, that is all about packing the little bars and everybody, elbowed asshole just packed in there. And that may take a while.
They canceled
to get back to that.
It was canceled already for next year.
Was it for next year too? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a huge platform for so many people to get discovered and for like you guys living down there, probably to discover and play with other musicians. And I just hope that gets back soon.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, losing South by Southwest, the hardest part about that, I mean, we play South by Southwest because we live there and it's easy for us to play a few showcases, but it's not that big of a deal as far as collaboration. It's not like it's not as fun as playing the String Summit or something,
Okay.
And but what sucks about losing it is that a lot of these music venues in spaces where the festival, they have events in these venues, and a lot of these places get a lot of money, both from the people that come and buy drinks, but the companies or production companies or corporate companies or otherwise, they'll rent out these bars and give them lots of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars in some cases, to rent out the bar for a week. And then that's like a huge boon for them, and they basically plan a lot of their year around that kind of thing. So we've seen in Austin in particular one of the scariest things, seeing a lot of these venues on the verge of closing. We've lost a few. A lot of my favorite ones are still around and holding on, and the city has come up with a plan to help them. But we're just really hoping it's not too little, too late. And I don't think it will be for most of these places. But we lost there's a great stand-up comedy club in town that I loved, and it's gone. There's a couple of good venues that I really like. And I hope they can reopen in some form or fashion, but there's a few that aren't. So that's the scariest thing about, as far as my city that I love and live in and watched morph over the last 20 years. I still love it there, and it's so important that the live music scene there survives, and I feel like it will. But that's the scariest part to me about South by Southwest was the first thing that canceled in the whole country. Like once that canceled, that set the precedent.
Yeah, it set a tone.
That was at the beginning. Yeah, and so I mean, it's all about just at this point for me, it's all about just giving in and helping when I can. They're doing fundraisers and live stream fundraisers for some of these venues. If I can offer my services, I try to.
Yeah, I mean, it's nuts, man. Like you said, it's been a roller coaster up and down, and I'm with you, dude. Like, as much as a band needs to be out and play, a music podcast needs live music to be happening, to be a thing,
And we do.
And we need it personally. Like it's
like the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
Well, that was our inspiration for the show to begin with, was being in this amazing atmosphere, and its life is happening right now. It's not planned, it's happening. And that, like we were talking about inspiration earlier, that's inspirational when you get those thoughts from the band playing, and you do rub elbows, and your neighbor's sweat touches you, and you're like, hey, you may gain a friend for a lifetime after that. And so those things are very special to everyone who's attending, who's working them, who's performing them. And I don't want to say it on a negative pace, but I feel like we need a plan B.
Yeah. And
like it feels like that, just because all those feelings, they're still in us, but they're not coming out now.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like the up and down of this, it's uncharted territory that we're in. None of it. There's no like self-help book that you can go pick up at the store that's going to tell you how to navigate this shit. Like, this is unprecedented. And for musicians and people like us, we're in this like in-between world where everything that we do is kind of on hold, but not. And what you said about human beings being adaptive creatures, man, it's really forced you guys and us to sit down and have those conversations that you were talking about and figure out where we're really coming from and what really matters and how we're going to do it moving forward. So I think in one sense, it's a good thing, because it's forced us to examine ourselves, our motives, why and what and how we do what we do. But then on the other hand, like, it feels weird not knowing when you can get back to doing what you do. And for you guys, like, it's got to be tough. Did the album come out during? Yeah, it came out during the pandemic, right? The new one.
Yes.
So I mean, that looks totally different than it would have otherwise, right?
It did, yeah. And when we decided to, so I'll tell you a quick story about the releasing of the album. We're on a record label called Blue Corn Music, a small record label that's fantastic, like family. And Billy, our mandolin player, he and the owner of the record label, Denby, go back like 20 years. And so he and Denby are really close. And Denby and I and the other guys have become close with him over the last couple of years. They put out our last record as well. And so Denby, he had to have a lung transplant.
Oh my God!
In like late January, and a double lung transplant, and he went through a very serious recovery as the pandemic was starting, and we didn't hear from it. We didn't really know. Like, we had the record done, and we were mixing the record as the pandemic was starting, and Denby was out of commission, so we were sort of in no man's land. Like, I don't know, we don't really know what to do or when to release it. And we had originally thought we'd release it sometime in the fall, probably September, maybe early October, and then we thought when the pandemic started happening, we decided, well, we'll put it off to February or March.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden one day, I was at the ranch working on the roof. I got a phone call from Denby, and he sounded like $1 million, like he had come back from the dead, Wow. And it was awesome because we were all so worried about him. We hadn't talked to him. We got some updates from his wife, but we hadn't talked to him. And long story short, from there, he was like, "No, man, we gotta release this record. The people need music, and we want to give music to people during this weird time and give them some joy to rally around. And don't worry about the tour. We'll figure that out later. Let's just put this music out and let people consume it, enjoy it." And that was the ultimate reason why we decided to just actually move it up and release it in late August. And I'm glad we did. I am, because it feels good to put your work out there. And
Mm-hmm.
if I was sitting on it right now, I'm just really glad we did. So.
Yeah, we are.
But
too.
yeah, it looks a lot different. I've been doing a lot of stuff like this, which I really enjoy. A lot of podcast interviews and things like that. But no touring. We did a live stream, which was fine, and things here and there. And now all this stuff's kind of winding down because the cycles are so much short now. But I am really happy it's out there. People really seem to like it, and I'm proud of it, and proud that anyone at all has listened to it. So,
what? I had a question about when Billy penned it, the Home and the Banjo. It's one of my favorites on there. Was that written before all of this or during it?
Yeah.
It was written before? Because it seems it would have been written right in the middle of it. It speaks so towards everything that's happening right now.
Is that the one about the phone?
Yeah, like don't know where my home. Yeah,
yeah.
Put a phone in my ear, in our ears.
Yes.
It really speaks. I would guess that he could have written that like last week. It just is so poignant.
As we were coming up with the title of the record, that it's a line from that song. And we all agreed with you. It was really crazy. I don't remember when Billy wrote that, but years and years ago.
Oh, wow.
I don't think he wrote it. I know he wrote My Hometown like 20 years ago.
Wow.
And, but this one was 5 or 6 or 7. I'd have to ask him, but it was not even close.
That just that goes to show that the muse or whatever it is, that creative energy that's out there is really outside of time. That thing sees before, after, and during all at the same time. And we have no idea. When we open ourselves up to that, anything can happen. And I think that's half the fun of making music or having a conversation, is you don't know what's going to come out of it. And then
you could write something that totally makes no sense at the time. But then, yeah.
Yeah, man, you're absolutely right. It's nothing amazes me anymore,
No shit, right?
Go back to Jane's Addiction. Nothing's shocking.
Yeah.
I think about that album all the time, just the title of it, and how it was in the freaking 90s, and it is ever more like alive and meaningful today, because you look on the internet, you see people getting beat up. Like, think about before, like that's like, there's real people getting hurt, or real people like falling in love. Like, you're getting to see stuff real time, where everything else used to just be a movie or a video that was recorded. It was an idea. Now we're seeing real stuff happening, and it's like, oh, I'm scrolling past it. No big deal. This guy's down on his knee parachuting to, telling his girl he loves her, and I'm like, oh, okay, next. Oh, cute dog. Like, it's just so weird. Like, the world has created this.
We've seen so much.
Yeah, that there's nothing that's like really gonna stop, and unless it's something like this, like something meaningful with music. Like, that's that's one thing that I always love and always go back to and always want to thank our guests about. Like, thanks for putting out music right now during a time that's crazy as hell, where there, like Aaron said earlier, there's not a lot of fresh or new input coming in. So to put something out now, it's like manna. It's like gold, you know, and it doesn't matter if the song's fantastic or it's just okay. The fact that it's out, you put your creative energy in there, it is so helpful right now. So thanks to all you guys, Billy, you know, Trevor, everybody, that Dominic, I don't leave him out, that, you know, just having the guts and just, you know what, we're doing it, put it out, boom.
Also, man, like that whole roller coaster thing, music has been a huge part of our lives, obviously. I mean, we do a music podcast forever, but I've really come to be grateful for it on a way different level than I ever was before, because I realize even deeper how much it gets me through feeling like shit when I feel like shit, and how much it elevates the good times when we're having a good time. It's completely different now. Do you experience that when you're playing now? Is it different for you?
Yeah, you mean during this pandemic?
Yeah,
playing
like,
around the house or something?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I think so. Listening to other people's music, mostly, honestly, that gives me those feelings. Playing music with the guys gives me something else. But I experience listening to music in a very similar way as you guys, and rely on it for very similar things. You know, you guys are thanking me for putting music out, but I'm really thankful for people to listen to it. I mean, it's sort of it's quite the thing to do. That's why, like, I think I consider myself a modest guy, but it's like I do have an ego. Anyone who creates anything has a little bit of an egotistical side that thinks people are gonna listen to it. You know, it's like but it never ceases to amaze me when people do. So thank you for listening to it. I'm glad it's helping you guys through it. And I've been listening to a lot of music by other people that helped me through this. And I miss seeing live music. I was a music fan, well, still a music fan, but not a professional musician for so long. I didn't really step on a stage till I was almost 30. I guess 29.
How old are you now?
Oh.
And the whole time up to that, I was the guy. I wanted to be the first guy at the show. I wanted to get there early and get a spot on the rail. I wanted to, you know, have my mind blown from the front. And I haven't lost that desire. I think a lot of live musicians like myself, professional musicians, we get a little jaded. I think that's normal with anything you do, but and you want to, you know, for me, like, I really, you know, once I experienced like the luxury of backstage or whatever, it's like, oh man, it's so nice back here. You know? So
like the rail.
In that sort of a sense, maybe I am a little jaded, but that sort of, that feeling that I get watching people play, and now I get to be friends with some of these guys, and it's like, it really still does the same thing to me, and it's so much fun, and I miss that.
Yeah. And
I really miss going to see little residencies and Monday night, Tuesday night shows in Austin. There's so much special stuff that happens in that city during the week. That was my favorite thing about working on the weekends, is that, you know, Mondays and Tuesdays are like my Fridays and Saturdays.
Right.
If I want to go out and see music, I can go see something, and it won't be difficult to get into or anything like that. It's just great musicians playing for a small crowd in an intimate venue. So.
Yeah, if
Anyway,
somebody's out,
I do think we'll get back there.
If somebody's out playing on a Tuesday night, they're not out there playing on a Tuesday night because they want to play for 10,000 people. They're out there playing on a Tuesday night because they want to be out there fucking doing it. And so you get something different than you would get from, you know what I'm saying? It's special and different. But I'm curious, you say all that. What's some of the stuff that you listen to that gets you off?
It changes, you know. I mean, I
like right now.
Listen to, okay, something current that I really enjoy is this guy named Coulter Wall.
Oh yeah.
He's been I've been wearing out his latest record. It's called Prairie Songs and Waltzes or something. I can't remember exactly, but it's excellent record, and I highly recommend that.
Okay.
That's something I've been jamming out, and I've been listening to a bunch of Little Feat as well, which there's a song that they do called Roll 'Em Easy that I've always loved, and then I started digging deeper, and this summer I've listened to a lot of Little Feat, and also Levon Helm.
Oh man, yeah. The Coulter Wall album is called Western Swing and Waltzes and Other Punchy Songs.
There it is, yeah. Yeah. And he's like a true Canadian cowboy.
A what?
So
that's a thing?
Oh dude, Canada is full of some real cowboys, like wide open prairie cowboys.
Okay.
And he's one of them. Yeah. Wow. I mean, and the kid, he's only like 24, 25 years old. He's got the voice of a 9-year-old man. And he's just super legit and very, very authentic. So he writes cowboy songs about his real experiences. So it's super authentic and real. And you would think it's like out of a story or something, you know, out of a Western. I don't know, but it's all real shit. And I think any of you guys listening to this podcast, no matter what you listen to, you would really dig that record, and any of his others as well.
He's rad. I've listened to him a little bit, and you know, you say real, and I think at least nowadays, if something is genuine, it's like finding a diamond or a hidden gem. You know what I mean? Like if you find something that's like real from the heart, dyed in the wool kind of thing,
or new,
then you're like, oh fuck, I found something that doesn't really exist out there too much. And I feel like for me, bluegrass music has been that thing during the pandemic that has done that for me.
I'm glad, man. I really am.
There's something about just no drum kit and 4 or 5 dudes getting up there and just breaking it down that you can't really fucking fake that. I mean, you can't put a bunch of effects on that. You can't really overproduce it too much. I mean, of course you can, but it's not typically done. And so you're getting the real talent. You're hearing the real fucking thing. And it resonates. It's especially right now. It really does.
It reminds me of comfort food.
Oh shit.
It like takes me back to like childhood, because one thing that bluegrass and you guys really do, like Texas comes to my mind because my mom's family is from down there up in the Northeast, up by Mount Vernon, Mount Pleasant area. And my great uncle's grandpa, you know, they loved all, you know, like Paw and the Texas Playboys, and like a lot of the
Bob Wills and the
Bob
Texas Playboys.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember what it was. Trying to remember this morning. My grandpa, I grew up listening to that stuff, and now after years of metal, Grateful Dead, and everything, to come back and like discover bluegrass. Bluegrass has really come into our lives in the last few years.
Yeah, it's a Northwest String Summit.
Like for me, my mom always loved country music. I grew up Trisha Yearwood, like all the pop stuff. And I've always loved bluegrass. I never knew any bands or anything like that, but the energy of the music, the way that I always feel like you're running from the cops or something, you know, no matter what you're singing about, you know, you just lost your love. It's still like you're running away, and it just, the energy that it like brings into a space. So the guys never really know that or knew that I like that, because I just don't listen to that on my own, because I wouldn't know what to put on. But ever since Northwest String Summit and doing the show, it's like a reminder of something that you used to like when you were young. And it's like a new spark, like, oh my God, yes, that's so fun. And
it's so fun to dance to.
Oh,
We
yeah.
all are.
My God.
Just dancing your butt off to bluegrass.
Dancing on acid to bluegrass is awesome.
Try jamming on acid. You know what? It's hard to play bluegrass on acid.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
But you know what's fun about you guys? Well, go ahead.
Well, no, please. I was just going to say it's a communal genre. That's the history of it. People play it together. We're everyone that's watching it, involved in it, playing it, singing it, dancing to it. They're all sort of in it together, and there's a long history of standard tunes that people know, and there's a standard form to it that people who know how to play the music can communicate in that way to where you can get with a group of guys, as you guys have probably seen, and just jam songs like you've been playing them together for years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think it's prolific.
Yeah.
It'll be around. It gets some times where it gets the spot in the pop culture. Sturgill Simpson,
Billy
who I love,
Strings.
he put out a bluegrass record a couple weeks ago. And it's always nice when someone who's real popular highlights it, and then it'll give it a boost. But and then it'll kind of disappear for a little while. But it's always at a certain level, and it's always there. And the ceiling isn't very high, but it's not really low either. And what's really cool about it is that it ages really well, and you can play it. It's kind of like golf or something. Like you can play it into your old age, and you'll still look really cool doing it. You know? Like Del McCurry.
Yeah.
In fact, you'll look cooler. Like the older you get, the more badass you look and sound playing bluegrass. Like I'm not sure, maybe with jam bands or psychedelic rock, that's one thing, but like, I mean, have you seen Guns N' Roses lately?
Oh, no. That doesn't age well.
You know what I mean?
No, man, you're so true.
Stop it.
Well, Aaron and I have talked about it. Like I mentioned Jane's Addiction, Metallica, GNR, all of those. Like for their time, it was magnificent. It was magnetic. It was awesome. But listening to it now, I just can't. I can't do it. And it's not because I don't remember the lyrics or don't love the music. It's just like my head's not there anymore. And it's like you can grow out of certain music, but then there's other music that like you were mentioning, it kind of ages well. It's like a fine wine, and you find more in it, and you find more emotions or different emotions than when you were, listening to Nirvana.
Yeah, look at that. Like he said, though, Del McCurry looks like a fucking badass when he's up there jamming. That's you're right. It ages.
Like
you do look cool. Yeah, like a gunslinger. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
One thing we learned too, like talking about GNR and stuff, some songs that I thought I couldn't hear again. When you hear bluegrass bands do covers.
Oh yeah,
we've joked around. We've sat out on the patio and you just take a song like "Welcome to the Jungle." You do it in bluegrass. It's new and it's exciting and it's fun.
Now it ages well.
What was it last year? Was it Yonder? That Saturday night?
Oh yeah.
It was
blew our minds when they did that. It was all covers on Saturday night at String Summit
of like 80s tunes.
Yeah, they did "Sweet Dreams" from the Eurythmics and like just covered all these. It just blew our mind. The entire crowd was singing, blew our minds. We were dancing so hard. It's just amazing. You can cover anything in bluegrass, and it comes out amazing.
We've brought up String Summit a few times now, and that was like one of the crushing blows of 2020 for me. So that festival is 20 minutes from our house. Like,
oh wow,
yeah,
that's awesome.
And it's in our backyard, literally. And the people that are there, the guys that run it are the sweetest, nicest people and treat us so awesome. And we were the official podcast at Northwest String Summit again this year. And we were so stoked because we were getting like the fucking hookup. Like we were going to get to talk to everybody that was going to be playing.
Well, I feel like too the first year we didn't really know what a gem it was because we weren't from the Pacific Northwest and we weren't schooled on stringed instruments and things like that. We were coming from Las Vegas, so
the jam band scene,
going into that and then realizing, oh my gosh, this is what that. So then you go back the next year, you're excited because you know what you're in for, and then
we got shit on.
Yeah, well, everybody got shit on, but like
But so my point was though, like. What you said about aging well, and it maintains its power. That's the thing for me with bluegrass is like over time the battery is still charged like it was 100 years ago, and even more so when you've got guys like you and, you know, like you said, Sturgill and Billy Strings, and that have exposed people to it that normally wouldn't probably have listened to it and now love it. And so now we have this like other huge lexicon of music that we can dig into, and it's a beautiful thing, man. And I just got to say from myself to you guys, thanks, man. Like it really did, hearing the album for me really did something special. And that's why I reached out to you, man, because this year sucks.
That's awesome. I really appreciate you saying that. I forget that we get so deep into these songs and we forget that they touch people in a certain way sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
They have an effect on people.
Don't forget.
You've encouraged, also you're part of an encouraging, Aaron recently bought a mandolin. He's played guitar for most of his life, but now he's learning the mandolin, and I've heard him playing to your he's one of those musicians, like you walk out on the patio and he's jamming, and you walk out and he kind of stops, but he's like, he's playing along with you guys. And then Melanie decided she picked up a ukulele, and she hasn't really ever played much, but she's starting to get versed. And
we can play "You Are My Sunshine" together.
And it's so awesome to see.
That's great.
Well, it's like you're like you were mentioning about Danny, like picking up a completely different, starting comic books. Like, playing music as far as like an instrument was never something that I was, I don't know what it was. I was always interested in it, but I just never did it. And so, sitting down, and how many times can you look at yourself in the mirror, walk around the house, clean it up? Like, what the hell else are you going to do? So I went and I bought this ukulele, and gosh, it just is so much fun to be able to lose yourself in, learning how to tune it, or, figuring out a chord, or it puts your head somewhere else instead of thinking about like fucking 2020. Mm-hmm. And so that's what you guys do with music. And I just, again, I couldn't be more appreciative of not just you guys, but everybody else who's put music in, and the musicians that are still killing it. And even though I'm not a huge live stream person, I'm appreciative that it's there, because we at least have something. Mm-hmm. We can see our heroes up there jamming on a Wednesday night or on a Saturday night, and, be in our, cooking or, washing dishes to a beautiful live stream. So the fact that you guys are still doing it, whether you're feeling happy or not, or whether you're feeling discouraged or not, but you're still doing it, that means the world to us.
Oh yeah, no, we want to give people what they want. We want people we want to stay connected.
Yeah.
That's one of my fears around this thing is losing some connection.
Yes.
But we're trying to come up with some creative ways to make it fun for us to, it is fun to play together. It's just not fun to deal with the technical side of some of it, because we really want it to look and sound good. And so we put forth a lot of effort to try and get some stuff to make it look and sound good. And we might get a little bogged down with making the technical stuff work. When we do another one, I'd like to, we'll bring in like a third party to take care of that.
Yeah.
So that we can focus on the music and have a good time. But yeah, I like the live streams. I did a few by myself early. I do a solo thing as well. And that was fun because it's easier to interact with the people watching when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
As a band, it's a little more difficult. It kind of interrupts the flow if you don't do it right. But when I'm by myself, it's more of just screwing around and having a good time. But there's going to be some cool content, and in Austin, at least, I don't know what it's like in Portland right now, but there are some small outdoor shows happening. So that seems safe to me. And in Texas, the hospitalizations and the numbers have stayed pretty steady. There's some venues that are real serious about making it safe and keeping people separated by tables or there's some drive-in shows that have happened as well.
Yeah, that's
There's
happening.
a
back
couple.
east.
Well, it happened here too.
And the Flaming Lips had a show where everybody was inside of a plastic ball.
I saw that. Man, I was like, I don't know how that works. But
Yeah, how do you get in the ball? And once you're in, what happens if you're too sweaty? Like,
yeah, how do you breathe oxygen?
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, who knows? I just, we're gonna keep working as a band on music, and that's kind of the only thing we can do right now. Is collaborate occasionally in person together, and do what we've done by sending each other stuff we're working on and getting opinions. And that's what I think is going to keep us going mentally in the group setting, is just to continue to work on music.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what comes out of all of this, man. So before we take off, can you tell everybody that's listening where to find you guys, more information and all the spots?
Yeah, and if you guys are doing anything coming up pretty soon, any live streams or anything like that?
Yeah. Well, the name of the band, to remind you, I guess I haven't really said it much over the course of the podcast, is Wood and Wire. The website is woodandwireband.com, and at Wood and Wire Band is sort of our universal handle. So Facebook /Wood and Wire Band, Instagram is at Wood and Wire Band. We do have a Twitch account now for live streams. We've only done one, but we'll do more, and that's also at Wood and Wire Band. But just find us and follow us, and look up the record on Spotify and listen to the other ones too. And if you like it, give us a follow, so when we're on the road, we can come jam for y'all again. Hopefully one day we'll be back at the String Summit. It's been a couple of years, but that was one of our favorites 5 years ago or something.
Right on, man. Yeah, if you guys come up to Portland, you got a place to crash, and we'll
you got
hang out.
a family up here, man. Just all of you do.
Likewise, if y'all ever make it down here, you got the same good.
Oh, well, my first time in Austin was last year for my birthday, and it was a really magical experience. I was there with my grandbaby and my daughter, and it was so welcoming, so beautiful, and it was just like the time of my life. So I definitely I have love for Houston and Austin, because I worked a job in Houston, and same thing, beautiful people, super friendly, very welcoming. So I have love for Texas, definitely.
That's cool. Most people talk mad shit about Houston because it's not like a nice place to look at, but it's got a really good soul, and it's a super diverse city
and beautiful.
It is, yeah. It's got some beautiful spots.
I guess where I was, it was beautiful.
Mel was in the one
good,
cool spot.
Well, I was working a convention.
You'll have to tell me where that was.
It was a gorgeous hotel. I was working in the convention for Jeep, and I guess maybe just, I don't know, maybe it was my attitude. I was happy. I was there. There was that gorgeous mall. I was just it was a good time.
Well,
I really like the coastline. I mean, I could talk about that on a whole other episode, but we've been going for a while now, so we'll have to save that for next
time. Man. Absolutely. Next time we can have the band on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Get all you guys on when you guys are back at it and you want to promote anything, you can think of No Simple Road as home.
You guys are great. I really appreciate the time and for having me.
All right, Tony. We'll talk to you soon.
So
have fun at the beach, man.
Yeah, enjoy the
family
beach
time.
and family.
Oh, I will. I'm looking forward to it. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend.
You too, brother.
Thanks.
I'll let you know when this is coming out a few days before, okay?
Sounds great. And I'll promote it on my end, too.
Cool. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Peace.
Bye.
See you.
salt of the earth. That's what comes to my mind talking to him is like, that's salt of the earth, people.
And
family
steeped in
this
deep
is the
family.
thing. Okay, past the whole like, oh my gosh, people actually listen to the show, like the excitement of that.
Right.
When people do listen to the show and then they come on, I feel like they're comfortable already.
Yes.
It seems like
that makes sense.
They're already comfortable. And Tony, from the second he came on, he was just like, oh, what's up? Hey, like.
Oh, he said that. I enjoyed listening to you guys to understand your format. You're doing something amazing.
Yeah, so I feel like it's such a not a compliment like that. It's great because it allows them to feel home and comfortable already in a way where we're not trying to like, so nice to meet you. Where are you from? Like it kind of cuts that out. And
when they get that it's not an interview.
Yeah.
It's a hangout conversation.
Exactly.
It's a chill sesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking.
So thanks, Tony, for listening to the show is what I was going to say. And, for everybody else that listens to the show and has come on, that's been a really awesome way to kind of cut to the chase and feel home.
It does the same thing listening to the music before talking to the artist. Like, I feel like I get to know them through the music, so I'm already comfortable on a certain level. I mean, there's obviously those times when I'm shitting my pants before.
Well, like I think this has just come up because No Simple Road was trying to get musicians on the show that we already knew and liked. So we were already comfortable with them. But then it's grown into something where now musicians and bands are being referred to us. So now it's the other way.
Well, this was not that.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like,
I reached out to
generally,
them.
But it was fairly new. Just what I'm saying.
Right.
It wasn't like, the Dead.
I haven't been listening to Wooden Wire for 30 years.
Exactly.
I get it. Yeah, it is different like that. And there's something special about conversation that you can't. They always liken playing music to having a musical conversation.
That's you. You.
I've heard that from tons of artists too, and like there is something special that happens in conversation that doing No Simple Road has really made me aware of and appreciate that I don't think I ever would have paid attention to it otherwise if you're not the one doing it. And I wonder if it's like that for musicians too, like playing music, you see it completely different once you're doing it with other people and having that musical conversation. Because I mean, I listened to Howard Stern for 10 years every single day, and it never dawned on me that like there's magic in having conversation. But you were always attracted to it. You're always attracted to listening in. And oh my gosh, I can't believe he asked that question. Like when you're hearing people come together, it is magical because you never know. Okay, you've got A and you've got B over here, and then they just talked about C, D, E, F, and G. Do you know what I mean? Like it's this conversation that these certain people never could have had with a different kind of people. Yeah. Each one is going to be so individual. Like we got to talk about Austin. If he was from New York, we wouldn't have talked about Austin. Do you know what I mean? Could have. No, I'm kidding. What I mean is like it is chemistry. When you put any 2, 3, 4 people together that are conversing, it's chemistry, just like musical chemistry, just like artistic chemistry. You're gonna get something special every single time. Well, and that's the cool thing that he was saying about bluegrass music I never really thought about it like that, is how it's aged and how I don't even want to say relevant.
It's not a fad.
Yeah, I don't want to say relevant because that's not the right word. It's its own thing, and it remains in its own little time bubble.
It was kind of like he was saying, he didn't say this, but it made me think this, that sometimes, like, he mentioned Sturgill Simpson kind of bringing a little bit more awareness to it, and then it kind of pulls back. It's like a tide. It comes in, and then it pulls back out. And certain times it comes in a lot further and a lot stronger than it does, and then sometimes it pulls out, but it's always there, and certain people will know about it, But then when everybody gets to know about it, it's super special because it brings out that energy.
I think it's super special too because we've had people say that, I forgot who it was, that says you don't get into playing bluegrass music to become rich and famous.
No.
And that keeps that's the down home family, everything like that about it, and it's so comfortable and preserved about it is it's got a history.
Yeah, it's not about like glitz and glamour. It's about raw.
Away. Yeah. It's not going away. It's about family and fun and friends and
partying.
Life.
Good time.
Life. Yeah. So everybody out there, check it out. Go check out Wood and Wire. Go to whatever platform, your Spotify or your Apple Music or whatever it is, and search Wood and Wire.
And there's some good YouTube videos, as I always say. I love going to YouTube to try to get, because that's where fans post those 3-4 minute songs and jams that they catch at festivals and live shows.
And the new Wood and Wire album came out in the summer. I think he said August.
Yeah, August, end of August.
It's called No Matter Where It Goes From Here. And I'm going to play you guys out with Clamp Shoot. But go check out the rest of the album. It's fucking amazing. And
pay special attention to the lyrics on Home and the banjo.
Yeah, there you go. And we'll be back next week with more stuff and things. And you know what to do, right? Follow us on all the things and all the stuffs, and Patreon.
Give us reviews, reach out to us, send us emails, send us tweets, send us all kinds of things.
We love you guys.
Mash that like button. Oh.
Shut up. Oh my God. We'll see you next week, you guys. We love you. And smile at a stranger through your mask. Take care of each other. Hydrate.
Pet a puppy.
Safety third.
Bye.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. Shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The reality is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
This is the story of Whitney Houston.
This is the story of Kurt Cobain.
Of George Michael, of Otis Redding, of Amy Winehouse, of Michael Hutchence, Bob Marley. This is the story of Prince.
It's a new podcast series
about how they died, why they died, and why we're still talking about them so long after.
It's like nothing you've ever heard before.
It's storytelling.
But it's more than that, because rock stars,
they tell us how we feel. They change our mood.
They change the clothes we wear, the people we hang out with,
the way we remember things.
It's them who give us those ludicrous moments, the ones where you're
jumping around, singing your heart out, feeling understood.
And it's those moments we'll help you remember, the ones you're thinking about right now.
That feeling.
That feeling.
It's coming soon from Crowd Network.
Just search for Death of a Rock Star on your podcast app.
And subscribe now.